coming right there.
All right, everybody. Hey, all right, everybody. Welcome back to Tactical Rifleman. This is a Monday night, Military Monday, instead of our usual Tactical Tuesday. You see, I'm not in my office. You see, I'm actually outside. We're up on the hill. We're sitting around the campfire. We have been getting things ready for Independence Day celebration, which is going to be here tomorrow. I got Donnie Dunn here with me. Steve Holland is
What's up?
Steve Holland's putting on his sexy shirt right now. We got us one of our old sponsors is back again. Zydex Computers. You guys know they make some of those completely customized gaming computers. They do the big gaming consoles, laptops. And they specialize in customizing them and all the laser engraving and LEDs, all that stuff. But the part that I think that's cool about Zydex Computers is its lifetime warranty. So if you get that big microprocessor that comes from the manufacturer with a 1-year warranty, come month 13, it shits the bed, you're covered. Zydex has got you covered. All right, good stuff. And if you go check them out, their website, they've got a big Independence Day, July 4th sale going on. So check them out at Zydex.com. Steve, come visit, man. Come snuggle. I saved your chair. Just don't get your mic on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Don't get your mic on fire. All right. So I've got a bunch of people coming to visit. We're out here on the hill. Our fruit tree orchard up on the back behind me, behind the flagpole. That's where we're going to be setting off the fireworks tomorrow night. My nephew's around the corner over here. He's spraying out all the kayaks and canoes. We are going to be having us a great, great day tomorrow. We, as in the group, is not me per se. I don't know if you can see my sexy scar right here. I just had a full knee replacement surgery. It hurts. It has hurt since they cut me open, but it does not hurt as bad today as it did yesterday. And it was worse the day before that. It was worse the day before that. So I am getting better. Rehab ladies, and they're all a bunch of, they belong in a torture chamber, they really do. But they say I'm making progress, I'm on schedule. My knees bent it like I think 100 something degrees today. So I'm on schedule for full recovery. And I appreciate all the prayers I've been getting from all of you guys. We're going to do things a little different tonight because I've got more than one guest. I got Steve. Steve's getting ready to roll in. Got Donnie Dunn. Emery Morgenstern is on his way back from the airport right now. He's picking up Rawson Herstoff, who flew all the way in from Europe just to come hang out here on the hill and do our 4th of July celebration. So we're going to have us a good time tonight. I asked my patrons to turn in a bunch of questions. I've got 3 pages of questions here for my patrons. Remember, I got one right here for Donnie right off the bat. Awesome. All right, for Donnie. If a situation happens in this country where all cell phones and satellite communications are down, and I wanted to get in touch with my mom that lives approximately 650 miles away, what form, if any, could be used? Thanks. I know he's going to say ham radio, but I'm going to wait for him to say it.
Well, yeah, obviously ham radio. You should have a ham radio and a plan worked out. Your mom should have a ham radio. Other than that, there's really not much you can do unless you can find somebody that operates a ham radio or somebody in a government agency like out of a TV show to do that. But that's really kind of your own options there, Carl. I can't see anything else to really communicate. I mean, smoke signals won't work, you know?
Yep. Here's the deal. Short term, everybody talks end of the world, Armageddon, and all that stuff. I like thinking short term emergencies. An emergency can be you getting a flat tire on the side of the road. I want that to sink in, right? And if you're riding a lot of places that I go and ride, you understand sometimes it may not be the national grid that is down. It may not be national satellite network that's down. It just might be you're in a spot where you don't have cell phone coverage. So, I encourage people, have those little, you guys have seen the little myelin sets that I've shown you guys on other live streams. 18 preset channels. You leave it in the trunk of your wife's car, leave it in the trunk of your daughter's car, whatever. They can pull it out, plug it in a cigarette lighter. The antenna magnetically attaches to the roof. Whatever your family's commo plan is, I'm not going to tell you what channel you're going to find my family on. But if we're moving in opposite directions, me trying to get my daughter, her trying to get home to us, right? My Jeep pushes 50 watts, okay? Hers only pushes 5 with that little myelin set. So she'll hear me long before I can hear her. Basically, that's all wattage is doing for you, right? But another thing I want you guys to think about is, and they've been around for decades, it was called a spot. And what a spot is, they basically were built off the old satellite avalanche beacons. So if you were skiing and all of a sudden the avalanche completely plowed you into the ground, it was a beacon that would allow the ski patrol to find you via GPS. And then when they got closer, they could play hot potato to get to you. Technology has improved a lot. And Garmin has a version now. There's a couple different ones. One I use is called the Spot X. It runs off of satellites. You do not need to have a cell phone plan. I want to say it's a couple $100 to cover you a year for this thing. What it allows you to do is you can text, and I can send text messages with it to anybody's cell phone. In other words, Donnie doesn't need to have a Spot X. He does not need to have a satellite anything. In other words, I could be out in the middle of the Badlands. I could be out in Death Valley. I could be in a ditch in the Appalachian Mountains with no cell phone coverage. I could text, hey, I'm fine, don't worry about me, still no sign of an elk. Let's say if I'm out elk hunting. And it would go via satellite to their hub, and it would then go via cell phone to whoever you were sending it to. I know people have used this all around the world. The same thing used by Garmin is sworn by a bunch of your your bush pilots up there in Alaska and stuff. And there are lots of other things out there. So first option is always going to be ham radio. But, if I'm not in my Jeep, I don't have anything that can push 50 watts. But even if I'm out kayaking, my little Spot X, it's clipped onto my bag. So anyways, food for thought, not bad.
Did you know
anything else to add on that?
The new iPhones, like my new iPhone,
yep.
If you're out and stuck without cell service, it'll actually connect to a satellite to send an emergency call.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did not know that
which
at all.
is a really cool feature.
You coming to visit, Steve?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm letting everybody know.
Steve is staying off camera right now. He's texting pictures, letting all his buddies know that he's getting ready to go live.
No, we are live. Not me. We. Us.
You let the fire go out, dude. What kind of person would do that?
See, that's why what happened with Randy not here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I know. I need me some Randy
Tell me, I'll
Wurst.
keep that bitch going.
That's all right. I like a good smoke. Honest, guys, I don't need a fire right now. It is
Warm.
well, the sun's still up. The reason why I like doing it out here, if you talk to some of my patrons, this is where we grill. This is the shed. And when the sun goes down, we do have a light right there, but we'll film story time with Randy Wurst or story time with Emery Rawson. And you good, dude? You good? You good? He's scared to drive over here. Funny stuff. But anyways, this is when the sun goes down. This is nice and pretty out here. Nice, good campfire going on. All right, so Susan has already asked, do we want to take questions from the studio audience before everybody else shows up here? I'll tell you what, Susan, if you and Donut and JT, my moderators, if you guys have got any good questions from the peanut gallery, all right, I do love my, I do love all of our viewers. So if you guys have a good question, we'll put it on.
Let's have it.
All right, you want to slide over here, dude, so we can all be in camera at the same time?
Sure.
When Steve shows up, we'll let Steve sit in the middle.
Waiting for Stevie.
I'll hold Steve's mic.
What's up?
Steve gets his own mic.
Where'd he go?
How you doing, Donnie?
I'm
Appreciate
doing
it,
good,
dude. I
brother.
appreciate you coming
Man,
in.
nice drive.
Appreciate you coming in.
Shooting up here, beautiful.
You're coming
area.
all the way in from
Tampa.
Tampa, dude. How was the drive?
It was long.
Not bad.
Not bad though.
Not bad
They
at
got
all.
it. We got through Atlanta pretty easy. You know, that's always the challenge.
You guys have seen, Donnie's done a couple videos with us. I think my wife's favorite tactical rifleman video is the one you did on long-term food
Yeah.
storage.
That
So,
was cool.
Donnie showed us how to properly store your grains, your pastas, rice,
Your
bulk foods.
Yeah. To get you from A to B.
Yeah,
I see this
Mylar bag
yeah.
in a plastic bucket, oxygen absorbers, but that's not where he stops. It's called diatomaceous earth.
Diatomaceous earth.
Diatomaceous
Food grade
earth.
diatomaceous earth.
And yeah, food grade. That's an important part. And he mixes it in and put it in the Mylar bag, toss in a couple oxygen absorbers, weld it shut with the hair dryer.
The iron.
The iron.
Iron, yeah.
I actually used my daughter's old hair flattener.
Yeah. Listen, I was super proud of you guys. You know, I talked to you a week later. You're like, hey man, we got a whole bucket system lined up here. Yeah, we've got a.
Dude, wait till you see the wall in the back of the
awesome.
shed, dude.
But don't you feel better though?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the truth.
Being able to know that no matter what the world brings outside of your dominance or where you live, your home, your area, your farm,
and
you can feed your family.
My wife said, Carl, we've got so many mouths to feed on the hill. Son, you got my niece is now married. They've got a daughter, and you start adding up servings per person, and
it gets really expensive. If you buy.
Emery is allowed to bring.
Well, Emery, he'll eat twice as much.
Emery's allowed to come to the hill. When the zombie apocalypse happens, Emery's allowed to come to the hill. He's allowed to bring one breeding female, and she has to have skills, like be a nurse, a doctor, something
Emery
like that.
Eat twice
He's only allowed to bring one. Cause Emery, he'd bring 3 or 4 of them if you let him. So, but that adds more mouths to the hill.
Yep.
Where do you cut it off? You obviously can't feed everybody, but at the same time, you want to be able to help people. So now you've got to have additional food for charity. You've got to have food for bartering, and
you got to have food to put in different locations. Listen, here's the deal. We all love Carl. We love Emery. We love the team. We love learning. I love learning from these guys. The bottom line and the heartfelt thing that I try to talk about is what you're actually really going to need. I mean, you're going to need some protection. You may not need an arsenal. Of course, we all want arsenals, and I've heard of them. But and water's a pretty easy resource to get if you do some pre-planning. The hardest resource in any crisis in humankind history, whether it's from famine, droughts, is starvation. Food is power. When you go to Somalia or some of these, places in the world that you've been, what is food used for there?
Yeah, power. Food is power.
Manipulation. Food is power. So it's not that expensive to take a few steps ahead of time.
Yep.
I mean, that's
without
all
a doubt.
Yeah.
Yep. Too true. All right. Let me see if I got any questions. Guys, I'm really excited that Emery should be back soon and everything. That's gonna be awesome. I see Steve is spamming people already. All right, okay. All right. So one 4th of July celebration, you've got to have spirits around the bonfire and everything. So you guys know me and my Aunt Helen, we make homemade wine here. We got some grapevines. The blackberries, my blueberries are actually getting ready to come in right now. Blackberries are coming in right now. I've only got a few trees with peaches on them, but grapes, you never have enough grapes. But anyways, we make wine, and I make a Cabernet. It's called Dead Red. Well, this is our first batch we ever did. It's not a white Zinfandel, it's a red Zinfandel. So instead of calling it Helen's Finest, I was like, well, what am I going to call it? I can't call it Helen's Second Finest. Can't call it Helen's meh. So what are you going to call it? So we've decided to call it Pink Mist. right? For all my snipers out there, you're looking through that scope and the bad guy just happens to be peeking out the window a little bit too long. You want to see the
Pink mist.
pink mist. So Donnie, I haven't had any of it yet.
No?
Freshly bottled, dude. Freshly bottled. I just printed the labels.
On your good knee?
That definitely my good knee,
Okay.
my better knee.
I don't know how good the camera caught that. That's pretty.
You can't even
It's
talk
pretty
about
ugly.
hitting that other knee.
It's a pretty ugly one.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Let it breathe. Let that sucker breathe.
I'm gonna give you the first sip, dude.
Oh yeah.
That way, if it sucks, you can spit it out before I get to it. It don't look bad.
You honor me, brother.
It's actually a snifter for B&B, but
That's an interesting aroma coming off of that. It's not typical.
no, before you ask, we're not gonna become lushes in the live stream tonight. 2, no, before you ask, my wine is not for sale. Okay, it's not. When you make things, unless you're doing it commercially to make a living, if you make things with your hands, with your heart, those should always be gifts to other people. So,
Skull, brother.
how is it?
I don't know. Waiting for you.
You know that the chuggability factor is pretty high on that.
That's pretty damn good. How many bottles that you got?
21 more bottles to go.
That's
We'll let my fire go out again.
Dude,
I got another
I'm no
question.
fine wine connoisseur. I do drink a lot
Steve's
of wine.
not
but-
coming. Steve don't want to play.
Steve.
He's coming.
That's
All right,
exceptional.
because I got a question for Steve Holland. All right, I got one here from Donnie Dunn, but I don't think you can do it. For a question for Donnie Dunn, will Donnie give us a demonstration of his expert skill with a bullwhip?
Oh yeah.
You got your bullwhip with you?
It's a hotel.
Is that the hotel? I'm sorry, I should have let him know ahead of time, but honestly, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I brought it just in case.
I'm not sure I want him snapping a frickin' bullwhip in the middle of a live
Dude,
stream.
I can knock a match out of your mouth.
Not out of my mouth, you're not. Oh, hell no. All right, Steve, I got lots of good questions here for you. That's all right.
Hey, this wine's really good, by the way.
All right, simple question. Maybe not so simple to answer. At this juncture in time, is the U.S. truly a free nation that values or is supposedly rooted in liberty? If so, from whom or what are we free from?
That's a loaded question.
All right, here's the deal, guys. I know y'all watch the news, and y'all only watch the news channels that you want to watch, that are only telling you the shit that you want to hear, all right? And I know all the Republicans think that all the Democrats are trying to destroy the country. I got that. And you talk to the Democrats, they'll tell you that all the Republicans are trying to destroy the country. I got that. I got that. But if you look in our nation's history, I got one right here.
Oh.
If you look in our nation's history, there's only a couple times in our entire 247 years that we've been a republic, there's only been a couple of times where the whole nation came together. Once was when the towers fell. World War II, the nation came together. Pearl Harbor brought the nation together. But we've never been all for one. We're not. And if you read a lot of the newspapers and stuff from back in the 60s and 70s, Vietnam era, everybody was for sure that the government's trying to destroy the nation back then. That's just the truth. And it always will be. Do I believe there's a swamp? Yes, of course there's a swamp. Do I believe there should be term limits? Yes, of course I believe there should be term limits. But I wasn't there when they put this party together, all right, when they came up with this Constitution. And I'll let you elaborate here in a minute, Donnie. But one thing I will tell you guys is I've been to 41 countries, right? 41 countries. And I've been to some of the worst shitholes on the planet. And some of them suck. And as much as people want to bitch, you understand, you are not allowed to put a light on your pistol in Germany. It's against the law for you to put a light on your home defense pistol. If you get a home defense pistol license, you can get one. You can get a license. You can get a light, but you're not allowed to mount it on your pistol. They have got weird laws. We're not the only ones that have weird laws.
You can get suppressors
we're
over
not.
there.
Yeah, I think it's sad, a lot of the shit that's going on. And unfortunately, and go back and do your homework. You look at communism, look at their books that they wrote about it. I mean, the head guys, Stalin and everybody, and they'll tell you an army cannot make another country communist. You cannot do it. How you do it is from within, and you do it in the education system. You do it in the home. You've got to, through the education system, convert everybody over to socialist. You've got to do away with the family. You've got to do away with religion. You've got to take God out of people's lives. And you've got to get control of the people. And unfortunately, that is done through the schools. Everybody used to be proud to be American. They were. And the sad part now is, instead of the teachers teaching in school that, our founding fathers were, the people that brought about the birth of the greatest nation on earth, which it is, they're being told that these guys were thugs. They were slave owners. They were pieces of shit. They were terrible people. And unfortunately, those students stay and become school teachers. And then when my son and all his friends, they all go to school, they're being taught by this. It's been going on for multiple generations now. Now, I lucked out. My son's smart enough, he can think for himself. All right. We don't get along on all things, but he at least listens to both sides of an argument. All right. But there's a lot of people that don't. AOC, for example, and that's one of the reasons why God made wood chippers, people like AOC, right? But you understand, she's not a bad person. She's not an evil person. She honestly believes the bullshit that's coming out of her mouth. Why? Because you understand, her sociology teacher on a dry eraser board said, this is what's causing global warming. It's so many cows times so many passes of gas equals so much methane gas. And if we do away with so many cows, we're going to save the planet. That's not real life, guys. That's a dry eraser board. That is a math problem. All right? And it's why geometry class with their, or algebra class with their math problems are completely different than your physics class or your chemistry class, because it doesn't work in real life. It just doesn't. But AOC doesn't know. She doesn't know because she's regurgitating what all of her professors taught her. That's all she's doing. Don't blame her. I still want her to get in the wood chipper. I don't think she will. I don't think she will. But that's, I don't blame her. Honestly, I blame the instructors, these business instructors that have never ran a business their whole life. And then they're not teaching business, they're teaching pronouns and shit like that. And I don't care if you want to munch carpet or slam somebody else in the ass. I don't care. You do whatever you want. But the reality is biology doesn't change, okay? I identify as is the same as you saying I pretend to be. That's fine. You can pretend to be a dude.
You're a fucking wood chipper.
You can pretend to be a unicorn. That's fine. I'll respect you for it. I've never met a unicorn. I never have. All right, and you understand why you don't let me go off on these long monologues, dude. You're supposed to be.
I enjoy this.
My wife's back there waving.
I enjoy this.
She's doing this. She's like.
Here's my quick synopsis.
Okay.
All right. So.
The life according to Donnie Dunn.
Well, I've tried to look at the big picture, what's going on for a long time. You go down different roads, conspiracies, and are they really conspiracies? Shit, they might not be. Fiction books that sometimes become reality. Whatever, you start to look at a bigger picture, and they want to try to shoehorn you into a category. So I honest to God, I wish I could remember the name of it. I watched a documentary on Amazon Prime about the Electoral College and how and why it's been so successful into the success and growth and prosperity of this country. You have opposing views that fight to the end, and they compromise, and all those compromises are what we have as law.
We used to be so good at doing that.
And the system itself is genius. However, what I believe we've run into over the last 25, 30 years is a devious, calculated group from high-end political, high-end business, and geopolitical, across the board energy, that all have the same goal, whatever that goal is. And I don't want to say some Dr. Evil shit, but it is to undermine, and they know they can't come at us from the front because of the Constitution. So what they have to do is the long game, like China talks about.
Yeah.
And they've over a period of time tried to erode the family, tried to erode religion, tried to erode our schools, and now our very children's identity and soul.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, my daughter's a lesbian. I don't mind saying it. I'm proud of her. I love her. It doesn't matter to me. But she's a patriot, and she cares, and she understands about this country. She doesn't believe what the propaganda that's going on. So that there's a devious plan. As a Green Beret, Green Berets, some of their teachings are how to break down a government from within. Correct?
Yep. Oh yeah.
How textbook is this shit?
I wish Sularu, he was supposed to be here. He's not going to be here till tomorrow morning.
Was horse breakdown?
Yeah, he's driving in the morning. But Sue, he went on to be a Fox. He started as an 18 Echo, Special Forces Communications Sergeant. But then he went on to be a 18 Fox, which is Intel. And one of the big things is unconventional warfare, guerrilla warfare, but literally how to overthrow another country, how to sabotage an occupying government from within. And Sue he lays out the outline, and he's like, this was this time, this was this, this was this, this was this. And he's like, I hate to say it, Carl, but somebody has done their homework
on actual events,
and they are legitimately, like it used to be. You'd hear people, and I don't care about anybody's religion. I don't. If you're an atheist, you're lost. Okay, fine. You might be right. All right, but that's fine. If you're Muslim, okay, if people want to worship the devil, whatever. Jewish, I don't care what religion. You guys, people that know me personally will tell you I don't have a prejudice bone in my body. I really don't. But it used to be every once in a while you heard people bashing Muslims or anti-Semitic stuff. And you're like, man, that is tragic. That shit should not be happening in the U.S. I understand we're a Christian country going back to our roots, but
freedom of religion.
Part of it, they said, all right, we're founding fathers, we're Christian. They want you to be able to worship your form of Christianity any way you want. So in other words, the Lutherans don't have priority over the Catholics or anything. That's how it started off, but they blinders off. They're like, but everybody, regardless of your religion, freedom of religion, 100%. But now today, it's the Christians that are getting prosecuted in the U.S. by, and not so much, it's not the government doing it, it's the politicians and the media. And I think that is so sad that
What's the very fabric of America?
We've been reduced to this. Yeah.
I mean, is Christian religion?
Yep.
I'm not promoting it or whatever. I'm just saying it really truly is the fabric of this country.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, I mean, what better target to go after, Carl?
Sad stuff. You guys were supposed to have more questions that were not made for my panel. But that's exactly what my patrons put down though. All right. Here's one for you, gun guys. This guy's wanting to build a 10.5-inch upper M4 barrel 1 in 7. Steve, are you coming or not? Steve's not coming. I'm going to do all Steve's questions before he gets here.
Want me to go get him?
No. All right. This one's a question for Steve Holland. 10.5-inch upper, M4 barrel, 1 in 7 twist for my 80% lower. Which gas system would be the preference, pistol or carbine length?
You would want a pistol length.
Yeah, for a 10.5-inch upper, that's
for the dwell
an
time.
awful short barrel. Don't get me wrong, 10.5 inches is the shortest I'd go on 5.56. And he does say specifically he's using 55 grain full metal jacket. I would go with a pistol or a mid-length gas system. But honest, I would push you to getting an adjustable gas block also. And here's why I say that. Almost all your gun manufacturers, because if a gun is not reliable, if it doesn't function reliably, what ends up happening is it destroys the name of that manufacturer, even though they made it for a certain kind of ammo, like the M4 was made for M855 ammo. If all you're running is crappy 55 grain Remington UMC and all of a sudden you're having problems, that's not what that gun was built for. All right, so by you getting a adjustable gas block, all right, that would allow you to fine tune things. But back to a being overgassed. So what they do, these manufacturers, Daniel Defense, Knights Armament, Bushmaster, all these gun companies, when they make their rifles, they make them overgassed. So in other words, if you're gonna run insanely weak ammo, it's still catching enough gas to cycle the action. Now, what that means though is, if you slide over, we're gonna put Steve in the middle right there. If you slide over, if you start running M855 ammo or adult ammo, 77 ammo, here you go, Steve, right here, brother. If you start running adult, high-powered, high-pressured military ammo, now your gun is got too much gas, and you're really beating the hell out of that bolt carrier group more than you need to. That's the advantage of going with an adjustable gas block. If you want to go with short barrels, me personally, you'll see my new rifle I'm working on. It's not ready to be sold yet. But I'm going with not just an adjustable gas block, but I'm actually going with a piston because pistons have improved a lot as far as consistency, which gives you accuracy, all right? And the whole, a piston, you're getting so much more mass moving, it's gonna recoil a little more, maybe a little bit, but the flip side, running a shorter barrel, I think, and that's that's one of the reasons why the varsity team went with the 416. That H&K was a piston. The H&K was a piston. All right, Steve, you back? You back,
right,
Steve?
brother.
All right.
No, I was just reaching out to all the tactical riflemen.
Hey, you know none of those guys want to watch, man. They don't want to watch
they do.
us.
Most of them hit me back saying, I'm watching.
Well, there you go, man. There you go.
All
right.
Just make sure.
To all my fifth group brothers that are watching right now, I wish you guys were here. We're going to throw us a hell of a fireworks display tomorrow. Donnie and Emery, Ross, and all those guys, they're all going out on the river, kayak and canoeing tomorrow. I can't. I got my bum leg here. I can't even feel that. I can feel it on this side. I can't. No. That's not even funny.
You can feel that, right?
Ooh, I can feel that.
About it.
But I can't feel my fingers on it. My knee is healing okay. But anyway, so they're going to go kayaking tomorrow. The doctor said I can't even get in the swimming pool, which sucks. But they're going to go out. They'll be back about 4 p.m. Big Al's coming out tomorrow afternoon. Him and John Mon. You're welcome. Come out whenever time you want, Steve.
Barbecue King.
I got some rack of lamb to do on the grill, and then sun goes down, fireworks. I won't say we got a lot of fireworks, but I'm just saying less people go to the state park to watch fireworks displays now. They all point their chairs towards the hill.
Yeah.
We're going to have us a good show tomorrow night. You'll probably be. Nobody will probably die. You'll be all right. Dude, we got fire extinguishers laid out.
Oh, I'm sure you got it down pat.
28 mortar tubes, drywall screwed in the 2x12s.
This guy does nothing half-assed, nothing.
So yeah, we're gonna have a good show here. So all my SF brothers, thank you for watching, and happy Independence Day. I know you guys value this nation and our independence. Guys, can you believe it's been 247 years? 247 years. All right, so I got questions for Steve first.
Don't seem that long. 47 years? Don't seem that long. That's what, 3 generations?
3 generations?
4 generations.
Yeah, 4.
If she had kids when she was 70, it's a little more than that, but I get it. We get it. All right. First question. You want to try some of mine and Helen's new wine? It's called Pink Mist.
I'll try some more.
It's not bad. You want to try a little bit?
It's really good.
Just a little.
Dude, it's really
Just
good.
a little. I brought you a glass, Steve.
Well, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying that.
You don't like the name? Well, you're a sniper. You get it. You get it.
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
All right. Okay. Steve likes to see the pink mist. He don't want it all over his face, though.
It's really good. Thank you, brother. Whoa, shit. Good Lord.
I'm already cut off, so.
Thank you,
Hey, man.
All right.
Skull.
So that was first question, and I do have a couple here. Real quick though, we got Emery Rawson's on the way. We got more people coming and everything.
That's good.
And it's not bad, is it?
Oh, it's good stuff.
Actually,
Helen makes good wine. She really does.
bet that was
My aunt
so
Helen.
hot.
Helen, if you're watching, you know we love you
Love
too.
you, Helen.
Well, I'm gonna start with Donnie. I'll give Steve a couple more minutes to think on it. Right off the top of your head, what are your favorite things? And I know you guys are proud Americans, just like I am. What's one of your favorite things about this country? It doesn't have to be liberty, pursuit of happiness. It doesn't have to be we got the best moonshine, but anything random.
You know what I like
Grab
about
something
this
random.
country? Probably, Joey, the most is that you can go to Washington State still. You can go to California still. You gotta find them. You can go to Utah, Colorado, Wisconsin, Kentucky, New York, Maine, Boston is a city. You can go to Atlanta. You can go to Florida. And you know what? You can meet people that are just like you, have the same exact values as you do, have the same exact thought processes that you do, and have the same goals in life that you do.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty amazing.
Amen
And they're
to
all
that.
Americans. And you know what? Even if some people are misguided, they still love their country, a lot of them, you know. But that's the beauty of this country. That feeling that we had after 9/11, you know, that we were unstoppable. Could you even imagine anybody getting in the way of America on September 13th or 18th, 2001?
Oh shit!
I mean,
Would have been rough.
that would have been rough.
Would
So
have been
yeah,
rough.
that spirit, I guess, that patriotism, that core belief, you know, because we all come from immigrants. We all come from hardy souls that had the balls to pack up their families and go on a treacherous journey across an ocean that was and stake out a new life, you know, from the people that went to the Appalachian, Cumberland Gap, and that fought the Revolutionary War, than people that went out west on wagon trains. Sorry, I don't mean to digress on that, but I'm just saying that's what I love about this country. That's the spirit you can't get rid of. As much as you try to stomp it out in a school and you try to stomp it out in different areas, that's where they've miscalculated and misjudged, in my opinion.
Steve,
What do I love most about America?
it doesn't even be most. Just one thing. What do you like about America?
Well, there's more than one thing.
Oh, exactly.
I love the diversity.
Amen.
I love
Amen.
the achievements of everybody and the opportunity for any and everybody to achieve. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are really divisive. And I would say to them, leave America. leave America, go someplace else, and see what you really get. I hear so many people and watch so many shows that talk about, oh, the Europeans this, oh, the Europeans that. Go to Europe.
Yeah, go there.
Go to Europe. And the thing that most Americans don't understand or can possibly perceive is the breadth and scope of America is so much greater and larger than places like Europe that everybody like pontificates about Europe, about France and Italy and England. They are such a small dichotomy compared to us. Whenever my daughter travels, and I think the last time she went overseas, she went to Korea and Japan. And I brought up the images of the size of Japan and the size of Korea for her to look at compared to the size of America.
Or a state.
And for a state. And it blew her away because the powers that be sell us on that's another country, that's another nation. Yeah, to us it's another state.
Yeah.
Italy, the size of Florida.
California has the fourth largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
The Ukraine. Oh, the Ukraine is 65-70% of the world's wheat. Really? How could you possibly produce that when you're not even the size of Texas?
Right.
So it's so much that America can offer and offers. You can find Germany in Germantown in America. You can find the Chinese culture in Chinatowns in America. You can partake of the culture, the foods. You can find Africa in so many different states and towns in this country. You don't necessarily have to go to these places. And the only places that we kind of battle to compare to is the Caribbean. Now you got Key West, Florida, but the Caribbean, that's on another scale. But the ability to travel in the United States, our good friend, Glenda Richardson, whom we love, a great warrior. His wife was from Australia. She, came to the States with him. She was a dependent, and she supported him throughout the wars. He took her and her children. He moved back to Australia. And he often tells me that, well, after the shutdown from the pandemic, we can't go from one state to the other. I left Tennessee today, drove right up here to Katie's in Kentucky.
I came from Florida.
You came from Florida.
4 states.
In the United States, you can do that. You have these freedoms, these liberties. I know we have some issues. I know we have some problems. I know we have groups of people and politicians wanting to cause divisiveness. But I remember being in other countries. When I served at the embassy in Eritrea and Ethiopia, I remember some guys were coming in, and I sent them a message. I said, hey, 3 weeks from now, it's going to be the 4th of July. The embassy is going to have, Independence Day celebration here in Eritrea, in the capital. I want you guys to send me, 300 hot dogs, 300 hamburgers, mustard, ketchup, lettuce, tomato, you name it. And they packed it up on a C-5, and when they flew in country for the mission, which is a week before, they offloaded all this stuff, and I had it put away. I didn't even tell the ambassador what I was doing. And the morning of the 4th of July, where they were going to have the 4th of July celebration, and they were inviting all the other embassies there in that country to the United States Embassy for our Independence Day celebration. When the ambassador showed up with his wife, we had 5th group cooks out there cooking hamburgers and hot dogs.
Nice. Cool.
And he was blown away. He was blown away. And that was America to me.
That was
absolutely what we are and who we are. It's not about our navies and our Air Force and our Army, and there are a lot of people in America that travel to these other countries, and they fuck it up for everybody else. They're over there, trying to live
the term
like lords.
ugly American.
Yeah, the ugly American.
It is true. It is true.
I would tell everybody in every country that I went to, don't think of us based on those people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're arrogant and ugly in the United States,
Yeah.
as they are arrogant and ugly outside of the
See,
United
I was
States.
arrogant and good looking, I guess.
Oh,
No, I'm
yeah, the
joking.
whole
I'm
package.
joking.
Still.
Hey,
Still.
real quick, if you notice the camera's been panning, it's because we're not using our usual camera. We're also outside, and because we're out around a fire, the camera's not hardwired. So we're not leaving. We're not killing the live stream, but we're gonna put this the Spark play saver up real quick. Give me a minute and a half, and we're gonna swap batteries in the camera.
like
real
minute
quick.
and a half.
It's like changing tires at the end
So,
of 500.
yeah.
I'll see you guys back here in just a second.
I'm scared.
All right,
It
welcome
was.
back, guys. That wasn't that bad, was it? Wasn't that bad? Every so often we've got to check the battery and put another log on the fire.
Yeah,
I'm
and it's
sorry,
only
Steve. That's a
92
little hot.
degrees
ain't it?
here.
Yeah,
A little hot. You're
I'm
gonna
like,
put your glasses
and
back on.
where's lost ark?
It's already 100.
anyway.
already 100 degrees out here.
So
Eritrea. We're at the
Eritrea.
embassy.
At the embassy.
Yep.
So when the guys came over, there was a movie that had been released and was so popular in the States all around the world. So
What movie was it, Steve? Oh shit!
so that evening, I invited a bunch of people over, and we had the latest technology back then. The big
VHS.
screen,
Oh boy.
a Sony Trinitron 27-inch TV.
Oh shit! 27 inch.
27
That thing
inch.
was massive.
Oh yeah, it was the bomb.
A massive 27
And you know what
inch.
we showed that night?
What'd you want?
It broke everybody down. We showed Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Did you tear up, Carl Erickson? The first time you saw Forrest Gump, you
Forrest
get a
Gump?
little
Did I tear up?
little tear at the
Did I tear? You know, I don't remember. I've seen that movie
Oh
so
my
many
God,
times.
dude, really?
I love.
I gotta
Forrest Gump.
say, Bubba, Bubba Gump Shrimp.
Renee.
Yeah, and everybody was quiet for the whole two and a half hours of that
The
movie.
masterpiece of a movie.
I mean, I must have had 30 people sitting there,
Yeah.
and not a peep. I don't think anybody even went to the bathroom. You know?
Really? Yeah.
And I mean, I learned so much from other cultures during our travels, and knowing people that said, I would love to come to America, but then here in America, people say, well, you need to go someplace else. I'll go back home or go back. No. We have enough room and space for everybody.
Yeah, without a
we
doubt.
just have to understand that politicians are politicians, and they're going to always throw out the scary story. Oh, the sky's falling. It's raining cats and
this
dogs.
shit's different
you
though,
know?
man. This shit's evil.
Yeah.
It's going.
Oh, yeah,
you
it
gotta,
is.
Yeah.
you
It is.
gotta admit that, man. This ain't
It is.
the same bullshit we had when we were young. This is a whole next level.
Crazy stuff. All right. My favorite thing is the pretty blue marble. All right. If you look at the entire planet, well, go outside of just our planet. You go to the whole solar system. There's a bunch of rocks in this solar system. They all suck. There's one that's got water on it. But it's not just water. It's like cool water.
It's like that.
3 different kinds of water, right? You've got ice in some spots and clouds in other spots and liquids in the middle. It shines, it reflects. But when you get down close and you look at that pretty blue marble we call Earth, you start looking natural resources and all kinds of stuff. But natural resources, but just everything else in general. mountains. Some people want to see deserts, okay? You can go certain parts of the planet and you can see deserts. You want to see mountains, you can go certain parts of the planet and see mountains. You want to see snow, you can go to certain parts of the planet and see snow. If you want to go get on a beach and get in water that's warm enough for you to swim in December, there are parts of the planet that you can do that. You can do all of that in only one country. Australia has some of that. Canada has some of that. The Caribbean has some of that. Germany has some of that. Iceland has some of that. There's only one country that has everything. So, and my family suffers for it because they all want to go travel the world and see beautiful things. And I'm like, and I'll go with you. But honest, if you ask me where I want to go, there's a laundry list of places here in the U.S. that I haven't seen yet. And if you guys follow us, unfortunately, on social media a lot of times, because the film crew wants me to post stuff all the time. Carl, just post a picture of a gun. I don't want to post a picture of a gun. I don't. So we'll post something. Okay, I'm out in my Jeep in Moab, Utah. That has nothing to do with Tactical Rifleman. I got that. And I know a lot of y'all don't like when I post pictures of my vacations, but I'm here to tell you, I did 25 years in the military, and now I went from shooting guns and blowing stuff up to now I teach people to shoot guns and blow stuff up. So when I have a chance to go get out and unwind, I don't go to the shooting range and unwind. I don't go hunting to unwind. You know, I just want to get out and get away from everything. And when you see some of the Rocky Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains and the Smoky Mountains, and you're laying on the beach with your beautiful wife in the sand in Gulf Shores or Panama City, and you're laying in the sand is just beach white and the water is just beautiful, you know, it's really awesome. It really is. And there's no other country on the planet that has what we have. And the more our fledgling country, the empires used to laugh at America, right? Because Spain had their big empire, Great Britain had their empire, France had their empire. I'm talking all the way through World War I here, people. But the new country, the new kid on the block was America. And well, they got some stuff, they got a lot of money, so we're all trading with them, but nobody took America serious. But once we got built up, there's a reason we're a superpower, and as much as they're jealous and as much as people want to say we always overstep our bounds and we're the reason for all the problems in the world, and they have their talking points, that's fine, but the part they're missing is the only reason why all these other countries that weren't part of these empires, the only reason why they have free trade at all is because at the end of World War II, the U.S. said, we're not playing with your empires. We get the free trade with everybody. Oh, and by the way, so does everybody else. And our Navy, is our Navy. Guys, you understand, the second largest Navy on the planet is Japan's. They have the second largest Navy on the planet. They don't stand a drop compared to us. Not at all. Everybody, but nobody needs to, because they don't need to have a Navy to protect their shipping.
We do it.
Because we do it for them. So I am very thankful because I've had the chance to get out and see the world, and I wasn't just a private stuck inside the wire. I had the privilege of being a Green Beret, which is, you understand, sometimes our FID missions, they would send 2 guys to a country, do the PDSS, and then one A-team, basically 9 more guys would go over, and you would train with that country. Be 9 guys. Yes, the ambassador had all his guys at the embassy. They never went outside the wire. Those 9 Americans, Steve, him and the guys on his A team, they were out there making the world a better place, but they got to see all these other cultures. And
You know, a good example is Somalia. We were in Somalia 9 months before the SEALs did their
beach landing
in front of all the cameras, lights and cameras and everything else. We were out in the countryside working with the townships, working with the villages, helping them with their animals, helping them with their children, you know, digging wells. I mean, we were doing what America does best. We help you grow. And by helping you grow, it grows us. And then, of course, the politicians got involved and the shooting war started. You know, and you have politicians now that have been in office for over 47 years. And I think that's one of the problems that we have in this country.
Amen, Steve.
If you don't walk it and talk it and live it, you shouldn't be legislating and passing laws on it. You know, I mean, so many countries. When I was in Ethiopia, Eritrea, what surprised me the most is in the summertime, they had Eritreans and Ethiopians coming back into the country. And the guys would introduce me to all these guys. They were coming from Germany, from France, Italy, United States. And I said, "Who are these guys?" They said, "Well, they're Eritreans, but they're returnees." I said, "Oh, they're coming home for the summer, vacation, everything else." They said, "No, you have to do 2 years military or civil service in Eritrea, period. It doesn't matter what your status is. You have to do 2 years. Now, if you're going to college in Germany, United States, then you could do that. But during the summer, you bring your ass back and you do those 3 months as civil service or military service until your 2 years are done." See, we don't do that.
Yeah.
And that does, when you don't do that, it doesn't give all these people walking around waving flags and talking about this and signs and protesting. They don't really appreciate what they have. I always thought that was something that we should do as a country. Same thing with politicians. We shouldn't have someone that's been in government for 47 years, whether Congress or senator. They should do 2 terms, like the president. 2 terms, and you go.
Yep.
Go back and make your living. Stop making your living selling yourself and selling this country out to whoever you're doing it to in the swamp.
Yep.
And that so embedded me into the culture of those countries in Africa when you had doctors and lawyers who had been to these schools in Europe, United States, PhDs, but they came back every summer until they did their 2 years. Yeah. You know, I watched the guys for the escarpment of Asmara all the way down to the Red Sea, 8,500 feet. They were building irrigation walls out of rocks. It was incredible. And I couldn't imagine the United States doing it, saying, "Hey, we don't want prison labor. We don't want slave labor. We don't want some big contractor to come and build these irrigation walls." Your civil service this summer is to build these 2 walls here. And then the next group of people will build these 2 walls. And they didn't hesitate.
Yeah.
They got out there every day in that heat, and they put in their 8 to 9 hours. And every night, you know, on my way down, sometimes we would stop, me and my driver, Kadani Siyum, what a great Eritrean. And we would always carry 4 cases of Asmar beer in our Land Rover. And when you see the fires burning, I mean, they were off for the day, we would pull up, and some of them knew us and some of them didn't. And but they saw that embassy tag and they saw that Land Rover, they knew that Steve and Kadani had beer, you know. And I so appreciated the things that they did for their country. If only we can get Americans to understand to do that for our country.
Oh, I know it.
Hey, Carl, you think the people out there can hear these birds? Isn't this beautiful?
It is beautiful on the hill here.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and the cool part is that even the weather in the U.S., we are in that spot that's just got perfect weather.
We have more oil.
I had a thunderstorm come through last night, and we were out here grilling, and we had this beautiful, there was no wind, no nothing, and then this cloud just came over, and you know that's west that way, guys, so that's where the sun is. So it all of a sudden got dark real quick. and then this cloud came over, and then the wind just tore up everything. We got 3 minutes of rain, and then it was gone. And if you look on the Weather Channel to the north of us, there's a lot of damage. A lot of people, unfortunately, got hurt last night, but we just caught the edge of it here, and we got beautiful weather. Guys, I got a couple questions that came in from the peanut gallery. One's for Steve. I'll get to that here in a minute. First one for Donnie, though, says, ask Donnie about food and water when you live in apartments or cities. You guys always refer to the hill, etc., but most of us are in smaller locations with no land.
I mean, that's a really excellent question and something that we've kind of addressed. So if you live in a city, in a high-rise apartment and an apartment building, your choices are limited. Really, the decision of when you're going to stay and when you're going to go. I always recommend to people that live in these kind of structures is they have at least 1 or 2 plans of egress to get out of Dodge, to get out of that scenario. However, a lot of crisis that you go through, you can ride out. So what we've done is with our food storage system is you can scale that. I mean, you can scale that to where you live. As long as you have protection, water, the ability to... Hey.
What's up, brother?
What's up, dog?
What's up, brother?
You're on camera, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Henry Morgenstern is here.
Guys. Look what I brought. Look what I brought. It's right here. It's right here.
Oh, what's up, Russ?
Oh, shit.
How you doing, brother?
It's Balky. What's up?
Did I kick something?
Good to see you. Welcome.
Gang's all here, or just about, most of them.
Oh, my pancreas.
Anyways, on the apartment and the structures within
right,
cities, there's stuff we can explore on that later.
Steve, we're going to have you move to the middle. Donnie, you're going to go over there.
All right.
And
I gotta get it.
I'm going to stay right here.
Glad you made it.
Howdy.
Hey, come here and let me mic you up. No, that's my seat. No. You're
Donnie's
sitting here.
moving to that chair. We're going to put you
It's
in.
preordained. We already got a plan, dude. You can't fight the plan.
Yeah. Donnie, you're going to put that mic there.
I'm gonna give it
Mic in the
Emery.
middle, right here. All right, guys. Steve, you got enough cord? You
Well,
should be
obviously,
good.
Randy's not here because.
You're good. Just don't
Look
get
at
it
that
on the
fire.
grill.
Yeah.
Steve, did you start the damn fire?
Oh, hell no.
Well,
I'm all-
obviously.
I'm all about a white man fire.
No, Carl.
We'll be another 20 feet back.
Carl with this fucked up knee.
Yeah, guys, are we? All right. How do I clip this on? Donnie, how you doing, brother?
That man loved it.
I'm not sure why I'm getting the middle seat
Man love.
with Steve, but I'll take it.
All right.
All right.
No. You guys, you're
So-
killing me.
You want water?
Hi, guys. No, I got Gatorade. Thank you, Dana. No, I'm good.
I'd let you all try
Well-
some of our pink mist.
Oh, pink
But,
mist. Pink mist. My favorite, pink mist.
Pink mist.
I'm going to let Rawson drain the bottom of this bottle. It's wine.
Okay.
It's local to the hill.
Local hooch.
Pink mist.
I'd offer you a
This-
glass, but I don't want to.
We don't
They
need
don't get
glasses.
you one.
We don't need no stinking glasses.
You don't need a glass, man. Kill it off. Kill it
So,
off.
yeah.
Rawson, I'm so glad you made it, dude.
It's looking like I'm the only one that's mic'd up, so I guess it's on me to run my suck.
I'm gonna put
So,
my mic
howdy,
on.
everyone.
I know. I
Let's
thought.
see. What's going on? This is about to get interesting. So I just picked up Rawson at the airport. Donnie's here. Steve's here. I'm sure you've gone through all this stuff. Joey's here. That's the important part. I don't care about anybody else. Joey's on the flip side of that camera, though.
I guess I gotta
Dana's
move
here.
a little closer, don't I?
Who else?
That's it.
Sue LaRue's coming tomorrow.
Sue's coming.
And Byron Russell's coming tomorrow. And John Mon. Anyway, we're going to have like the majority of our little family. And
Yep.
it's awesome.
We're gonna have
The
us a
only
good
problem is because Carl's Mr. Gimpy right now with his knee, I got to somehow pretend to be the responsible adult on tomorrow, which means people are going to die. That's okay. We need less people in the world.
We have not had anybody die on one. We're due.
It's
We're
true.
due.
We have not had anyone die
We're
on the
due.
river. Rawson, we're going to find out tomorrow if he knows how to swim. Because if he doesn't, you know I'm flipping his boat. We got the boats ready.
No
Well,
time
Jamie
to
got the
learn
boats
like
ready.
the present.
Learning through experience.
Learning through experience, unless you die.
Here,
So
let's,
the thing is,
Here,
I love.
Here,
Here, let me
hand that
take
over
care of
to him. Don't get it in the fire.
Yep, roger that. So here's the thing. There's only two holidays to me that constitute holidays. 4th of July and Memorial Day. So other than that, I don't really care about holidays.
We actually, we just went over this. We went around the horn and pick one thing that you love about America.
Only
So
one?
you're allowed to do more, but keep it PG-13.
PG-13.
So and I understand, dinosaur brain. It takes time to make it down the dinosaur brain. So we're gonna give him a couple of minutes. So Rossin, you're from Bulgaria.
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. What's one of your favorite things about America?
I'll tell you straight away.
Straight away.
Joey.
American Constitution, in my opinion, is the best written document that guarantees freedom.
History.
Absolutely in history.
All countries combined.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Freedom rights and guarantees the freedom of the individual.
And as much as people
No
bitch, they're like, well, we need to change it. Well, why? You want us to change it because it's not how you feel.
I want to be less free.
But that's why it was written like that. It was written so it's the masses, not individual people. Otherwise, your country would constantly be changing by whoever people are there.
Yep.
And unfortunately, today there are still people that want to change the Constitution. It's a dated document. There have been countries that have taken our U.S. Constitution and what they said modernized it. They used it as a template, basically, and then they made their own. And they always fail. They're always like, it's still not as good as America. It's just not. So I appreciate you saying that.
Concentration of genius.
By the way, I just came from Europe and I spent over about 12 days in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And recently, few years ago, actually they adopted something really close to a Second Amendment in their constitution,
Nice.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
Cool.
yes.
Czech Republic is one of the cooler spots there are.
See, so and I'm not bashing it. He's a legitimate, he's a patron, and there's a lot of people that legitimately question. They're like, well, what liberties do we really have in America anymore? And they say that, and they're sincere when they say that. What liberties do we have anymore? Can you name them off, Carl? And it's right in front of your face. But rather than start arguments and stuff, I want to point out that there are 800,000 legal immigrants every year. These are naturalized citizens that have raised their hands, 800,000 every year. And they raise their hands and ask them, I wish I had some of them here. Ask them why they love this nation, and they'll tell you, because everywhere where they're coming from, they don't have this. They really don't have.
You have two right here sitting in the circle, right?
Yeah, but you didn't raise your hand. You just kind of squeaked under the fence and crawled away real quick.
So when I got my citizenship, and luckily I was pretty young. I was 17 when I actually got my actual citizenship.
Okay.
So to me, it means a lot. But forget me a second. Rossin is A, one of the best human beings I know. B, one of the best people at our profession that exists.
I told him I'm marrying.
And, well, you should. But Rossin, here's the deal. Rossin, I got lucky, right? I got lucky. Rossin is going through the process correctly, right? He's doing everything, crossing his T's, dotting the I's, all that jazz, right? And he's getting a hard time because he's a stand-up citizen, already paying, he's paying his taxes, he's doing everything by the book, law-abiding citizen, all that, and it's taken years, which is fine. The process is what it is, right? But really, Rossin, what we need to do is get you a flight to, Mexico, and then you just run across the border and you don't have to do the paperwork anymore. Why are you doing it the right way?
Right? No interviews.
He could pass for something. I mean, there's people
I
getting
have
across the
that
border
case,
from
right?
every country on earth. But,
Look,
If anybody needs to be a citizen, it's this man.
I agree.
You haven't got your citizenship yet?
I'm in a process.
You're in the process.
And
the
I'm still
process
kind
for
of
years.
fighting the administration because actually my interview was scheduled, but I needed to
Biscuit.
travel, postpone it.
Come here.
And the administration did some mistake. I warned them
What?
that I
They
would
never
travel.
make mistakes.
Yeah. So they approved my rescheduling, but at the end it turned out that
Hi, Bubba.
there was some mistake and misunderstanding over there, whatever.
Oh,
so
you're
right
such a
now
big
I'm
boy.
waiting for
Such a
another
big boy.
rescheduling, which it's
I'm telling you,
4
man.
months passed.
All we have to do is drop you off in Mexico. You get your feet wet crossing the border, and you're good to go.
That's a speed ticket.
You know what's funny dude, about him is
I think you're gonna have to yell because the microphone's here.
the man. That's right. The man's a philosopher.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a history expert, super knowledgeable about history, psychology. He's a Renaissance man.
Yes.
This country would be a much better place within it.
It already
And I got no skin in the game.
It already is. It's just paperwork,
Dude,
right?
like, am I right?
It's just bureaucracy.
And I grew up
Right?
in a socialism.
And what's ruining
Which is
our country? What was wrong with socialism? Not in terms of like the concept of socialism, but in practice in a socialist government, right? It's the bureaucrats. It's always the bureaucrats, right, that run
It's
everything.
a gang. Socialism becomes
Well, that
a
and
gang.
oligarchs.
No, it's oligarchs. It's oligarchs. It's the fucking feudal system.
Do you
And,
want,
and,
It's
and
the
who are the
feudal system.
oligarchs of America?
do you want to
military
hear my
system.
honest opinion about it? Socialism in general, in general construct, it always was about power.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was hidden behind beautiful words about equality and all that stuff, but at the very end, it's all about the power of a few, and all the rest just.
Yeah. Fact.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with this fire because
No, I don't
Because
want it
it's
too
not
hot,
fire?
dude. It's fine. It's fine. Go away.
it's smoke.
Yeah, but the smoke looks good. It's giving me my ambience.
It's blocking my beautiful face.
Yeah,
Carl.
exactly.
Yes.
Thank you. It's keeping my ratings up.
Let me show you guys a trick. Magic.
Magician,
Magic.
magician, a witch.
So, Donnie, y'all just pulled up today. How was your drive?
Very free. We didn't have to stop at any state borders and present our papers. We just cruised on through with an AR-15, a 12-gauge, 3 Glocks, and 2 3/8.
Up until the AR-15 part, I was like, oh, so you like living in the European Union?
No, it's great. I just went wherever. We had no. Did we have problems with papers? I mean, a big, Nordic.
I'll tell you what,
Got
man.
Irish guy and an Asian chick.
My whole drive to go pick up Rawson now, it was like 3 hours both ways. The entire road was blocked. No bullshit. Florida plates. All Florida plates. All of them.
What? For what? They're a game.
I don't know.
Coming
You
back
tell me,
this
that's
way or
your
going
decision.
that way? Going that way or coming
Both
this way?
ways. Both ways. 24.
So
Blocked.
I was born in Kentucky, so
I know.
this
You
is
were
my-
born outside of Louisville.
Yeah,
or in Louisville.
No, in Louisville.
In
right
Louisville.
the middle.
In Louisville.
This is Louisville. You gotta say it right.
Louisville.
Louisville. You know how to say it right. Louisville.
Oh yeah, dude. I went through the whole class
like,
on
I'm
how to
from
say
Louisville. You're
Louisville.
like, no, you're not.
I had to pass my how to say Louisville class
Yeah,
before they would allow me to
Louisville.
move to Kentucky.
Louisville.
Yeah, I was like,
Louisville.
Louisville, what's wrong? Because
Louisville.
I moved out here from Colorado, and there is a town called Louisville in Colorado. So I moved out here. I'm
You
like,
look at you like you're
yeah,
crazy.
oh, Louisville there, Louisville
Yeah,
here.
come
Okay.
on.
Don't worry,
And they're like, oh. Now, it's kind of a joke because I knew it was Louisville,
Right.
but it's not Louisville, it's Louisville.
Louisville. Louisville.
Lou-
Oh, you're getting close.
Louisville.
You got to
Louisville.
get rid of some
Louisville.
Connecticut.
My
Louisville.
parents were Kentucky.
Louisville.
Same as we have just next to St. George, we have a hurricane. It's supposed to be,
But it's
but
not.
The locals are, what? No, it's not hurricane. It's hurricane.
Hurricane. Hurricane.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, they got a
okay.
cool drop zone out there.
It's a
They got a
hurricane.
cool drop zone. So here's the thing, right? Kentucky, or as I like to say, Clan-tucky.
Oh my God, really?
No, here's my story with it, right? Little Jewish boy moves
shit.
to
Here we go.
Louisville, Kentucky, right? I'm sitting there. Carl knows this. He's heard this a billion times. So I move out here, and I'm like, and I moved to Louisville. It's not like I moved to Eastern Kentucky with the
It's a
blue
big
people.
city. It's
It's a big city, so it's, of course it's going to be crap.
It's a shithole, but it's a big city. Yeah.
It's St.
But,
Louis Junior.
so I'm like, all right, I'm going to start a calendar, and I'm going to mark off every day, kind of like how many days you got left in the Army type of thing. I'm going to mark off the days that they didn't burn a cross in my yard, and see how long it takes until some asshole burns a cross in my yard. Man, not only has that not happened, not only have I never met anybody with any sort of KKK affiliation or any silly shit like that, but everybody here is awesome. And I didn't know it, but I rented a house literally in this neighborhood.
All
Every
Arabs.
single house was Arab. Every single house there was Arab immigrants. Of all the places in this country, in Louisville.
Yeah.
And I'm a witness of that.
Yeah.
I'm a
Rawson's
witness of
been
it.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there.
Dude, every house
that? Were they cool?
right next to the Costco.
Were they cool?
I don't know. I never talked to him.
Oh, of course.
Not out of spite. I just, I work for a living.
Louisville's a good town, man. Dude,
Yeah.
there's so many good
For-
people.
for a city. For a
Florida's
city.
got good people. Every place I've ever been has good people, and
Yep.
different races, different religions, different colors. The
That's what
perception-
makes America awesome. Is we're a
perception.
smelting pot.
That's the essence.
We have
not-
everything.
Dude,
That's
Smelting
the
pot.
It's a jiving pot because look, the perception is people in the training and ex-military, the firearms world, is all something that's they're trying to make it this alt-right bullshit. Dude, the least prejudiced, the coolest, nicest, most loving, most accepting people I've ever met have been in this world.
Yep.
Period.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Period. And as long as you can say fuck in 7 different ways, you're accepted in this world and you're cool. Sorry, Carl. Did I disagree?
Huh?
Did I disagree?
No.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Cockballs.
You're good.
People are a people. That's the most important thing. People are a people. Good
My
people
F-bomb
are-
count
Here's
is
my
up.
problem.
That's it.
I have a problem with one person right now. His name is Donnie Dunn because he brought himself a beer.
That's all I have.
You see? That's how that works.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
I know you're
Five
Five carry the
freaking
7.
refrigerators in there, and you know where they all are.
I
You know where they all are.
No, I'm just yes.
I'm sorry, 4. I guarantee you there's a beer in there. Yeah, how much you want to bet he'll probably come back with the only Bud Light in the whole building?
Well, it's I mean, I'm sorry. Hold on.
You're enjoying
It's
that,
the only
that
one I
thing.
drink.
Oh my god, dude.
It's good.
It makes me moist.
Pink mist.
It makes my
like
throat
it.
so
Pink
moist.
mist.
See, in America, we get our friends beers.
And, no, sit down, dude. I'm just giving you a hard time. See, this is friends. This is I don't even drink.
right.
Just no Bud Light, please.
Huh?
What did you just say?
I said, man, I don't even drink.
All right, where are we at? I had some more questions come
you
in.
had
Hold
questions.
on a second.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Rawson stole my answer for favorite thing about America. So
Hey, you asked me for it.
SOL on that one. No, I mean, there's a reason
had-
you said it. Because it's true. Steve, what are you up to, brother? I haven't seen you in a second. Yep.
Hey,
We question. We've seen many people develop severe food allergies due to tick bites. Have you all seen this influx as a problem in your area over the last 3 years? Thanks.
So,
He's saying
yes,
from up north.
actually.
I don't know anybody.
Well, I do. I know one.
No, because it was Sue.
No,
but
no.
Sue did-
Tick bites.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Sue
tick
said
bites.
his was from a tick bite, but he's
No,
back
no.
to eating
Sue's
meat.
full of shit. It wasn't a tick bite.
Okay.
Sue had valley fever. That's a fungal infection in your lung.
No,
Different
before
thing.
that. Talking about something
Oh,
different.
Talking about the time he was in the hospital, got super skinny.
No, when they told him he was allergic to a meat from a tick bite, he
Sue's
became allergic to
man
meat.
maybe.
So he was allergic from meat from a tick bite, or he's allergic from biting a tick.
No, here's the deal.
You see what I got to work with, right?
I do know someone who, not Sue. I do know someone. So the main tick that transmits these, which I've found on myself a bunch of times. I found them on my dog. Thank God I can still eat red meat. The Lone Star tick. They're smaller ticks, and on the top of their shell, there's one white spot.
Yeah,
It's
that's
called
all
the
we got
Lone Star
around here.
tick. Huh?
That's all we got around here.
Yeah, there's tons of them here, and just because you get bit by a Lone Star tick doesn't mean you're going to get it. But, I'm sorry, I'll move this over here for you. So the Lone Star ticks transmit, I don't know if it's a viral thing or whatever, but you can become allergic to red meat. You can still eat chicken.
I've heard about that as well.
But red meat. So
I've heard about it, but I honestly don't know anybody here that's had it.
no, I do. That's
one
what I'm
person,
saying.
one.
I know one person that
one
I know
person.
personally.
Okay.
He came. I can't say where I know him from, but I was doing this training here.
Bulgaria.
No, it was here in Kentucky. Hold on, I'm fucking talking, Steve. I know you like the limelight. I know you love the camera, but give me a second. You will shave my beard? You're not fast enough to shave my beard, Steve.
I just
It'd
did
be
it.
really fast.
Oh my God, my beard's gone. Anyway, he got it, and he didn't even know. He got really sick, and then.
Yeah.
Thanks, Donnie.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Waste his beer.
It's not beer, it's Bud
Yes,
Light.
Bud Light.
Awesome.
Bud Light.
Thank you.
You know
Bud
what, Donnie?
Light.
I do love you.
bringing it. Thank
because-
you, Emery, for pouring it out. I'll
Yes.
get you another one.
Awesome.
High five.
I
So-
appreciate you bringing me a
So
beer,
you,
but
you can't
so
eat
he-
red meat, but you can eat chicken.
Correct. So
That sounds
so
like
the
a
way he
lesbian
found
thing.
out-
That's a
He may as
lesbian
well have
thing.
Been a vegan.
Get off the
So-
beef
so
and eat
his
some
deal
chick
was-
instead.
His deal was, he got sick. He got over it. He didn't know it was a tick
She
thing.
gets it.
And then one day he was eating a steak. It was like
That was from
month
Cardi
after
B.
or whatever. He was eating a steak, and he went into like anaphylactic shock. No bullshit.
I've heard about it.
Throat closed
heard
up.
that, yeah.
The whole thing, face poofed up. 911. Ambulance took him, and it took them like a week. Blood tests, all that, and then they literally told him, "This is what you have. Did you ever find a Lone Star tick on you?" And sure as shit, he was like, "Yep."
And he
So
never had a
Lone Star
problem eating
tick.
a red meat before that, right?
Not before, but that's it. According
tick?
from a Lone Star tick, yes, yes.
Regarding Sue, I think that if tick bites you, the tick will get allergic.
The tick will, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like Chuck
Yeah.
Norris.
Yeah. I say that all the time. I say, hey,
Yeah, right.
mosquitoes don't bite you. I say, yeah, they bite me. Then they taste that tequila. They're out.
The
They're
tick
done.
had- The tick had cowboy boots and a hat.
They're flying around in circles afterwards.
Absolutely.
There's the
Oh, there's the beer.
Here we go.
Dana.
So as we continue, I need to give a shout out. Give a shout out to Chuck Larson. He's the president owner of Rock River Arms.
Yeah, I've heard that name. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rock River.
Wow.
Awesome ARs.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome ARs.
Oh yeah.
Bro,
Chuck,
long-
I apologize.
For years.
We were going to preview their LAR 47, AR-47 for AK-47. So basically, it's an AR-15. It's 7.62 by 39.
Nice.
It takes AK-47 magazines.
Nice.
It's beautiful. I'll show you
I tell
guys.
you what, man, that's one of the big issues that I've always had with AR platforms that took 7.62 ammo.
Right.
Is
They don't take the
dude,
magazine.
why
Why
a proprietary
change the
mag? Like,
But these
change your
are
mag
taking
well,
the
make it take
magazines,
normal
right?
AK mags.
Yeah.
Is it a
Yeah.
piston gun?
That's the biggest issue.
No, it is
gas
a
gun.
Oh, it's
yeah,
a 7.62 by 39
impingement.
Gas gun.
DI gun?
It's a DA
Yeah.
gun
Wow.
that takes AK mags, which is brilliant.
Oh, shit.
It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
That's,
Not heard of
that's
that.
And-
how that platform should work.
Look at this guy.
And if you guys recall on one of the shows, I talked about some of the past projects that we worked on during the SPR days, and which came into the Knights Armament building their SR-47, which is an AR-15 that takes 7.62 by 39 magazines. Well, Rock River Arms has pretty much perfected this. And I apologize to Chuck because I told him I was going to preview that tonight, but based on our outdoor platform, I'm not going to be able to do that. So maybe we'll get you, Chuck, on the next show. Our next show coming up is going to be this Tuesday coming. It's going to be out of Louisville, Kentucky. We're going to be running the carbine pistol low light course at the Louisville Armory.
Just
And
Can I pause you a second? Guys, watch this monkey trying to open a beer. What's wrong with you, man? This is.
I use
Rawson-
the leverage.
Rawson,
I use
this
the
is-
leverage.
This is why they won't give you your citizenship, because you have to pass the beer test.
I'm
first.
better with the
I
forks.
was going to salute
so,
you.
Chuck, as you see,
I'm better with the forks.
tonight was not the night that we were going to review your platform, but I'll share it with the guys after the show is over with. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right,
Cheers.
You can. Wow.
I'll share it with the guys afterwards. I think they're really going to like it. You guys get a chance, and as I always say to you, Tactical Rifleman Nation, I'm not going to do all your research work for you. Look up Rock River Arms, LAR 47. And you guys that are into AK-47, that you just don't get that right feel when you hold one, now you're going to get that AR-15 feel and still be able to take the same magazines. And the key, as Emery was saying, is the magazines. That's always going to be an issue when you're running systems like that, and you think about when shit goes crazy, okay? I mean, we know what we're talking about here. You know, our current situation, the politics and everything else.
I don't know anything.
You want availability of ammunition, which breaks you down to 5.56, 9 mil, 7.62 by 51, 308 Winchester, and 7.62 by 39. And everybody knows 7.62 by 39 is cheap ammo.
Common round on the
So
planet.
they
except
modified the
maybe a 9
magazine
mil.
well.
Yeah.
They're supposed to heavily modify the magazine well there.
Is the gun available?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is? Do you know how much roughly it retails for?
If I say to them, I'm not going to do the research for them, what makes you think you any better?
He didn't hear that.
Do I know you?
You want to fucking wrestle?
Do I know you?
You want to wrestle?
I kind of want
Yeah,
you guys
brother.
to wrestle.
Yeah,
I think
I'm sure Chuck Larson started this company. He used to work for Springfield Armory, and then he went for work for Les Bear, building 1911s.
Wow.
They started their own company about, 10, 15 years ago, he and his brother Mark, and they build these ARs. They take AK, it's everything, you'll see it, you'll see it.
Rock Rivers have always, from the start, they've been a super quality
solid.
rifle. Super quality rifle.
For way back
And-
in the day.
yeah,
When
for
there was
way back in the
You
day.
had Colt, Bushmaster, and Rock River.
And then LWRC and POF came out,
Yeah, years
and
later.
those were
LWRC?
I mean, like POF.
LWRC? Shame on
Well,
them.
no, before.
Shame on them.
Yeah, well, that's not what I'm saying.
Shame
what I'm saying
on
is
them.
When LWRC and POF came out,
They're on our
years
shame
ago,
list.
They came out as the high dollar platforms, right?
Right.
And 30 other.
And what I'm
Okay.
saying is,
Defense and-
I'll
yeah,
switch
yeah, yeah.
it.
But what I'm saying, at the same time, LaRue Tactical. But what I'm saying is,
What
all
are you
those
saying?
companies that went for high dollar ARs, which are awesome, right? A lot of those rifles are supreme, but they didn't get it right in the sense that Rock River was providing an equally awesome AR for literally half the price.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, Rock River, even in like 2008, 2010, those guys were selling for $1,200, $1,300, right? When LWRC was selling for $2,200.
But
Yeah.
$1,200 was a value AR in 2005.
Yeah, I mean,
know,
Bushmasters were going for 1,000, right? I'm saying 2008-ish,
But for years before
right?
that.
So
yeah.
Bushmaster being, and by the way, nothing wrong with Bushmaster guns either. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Been good guns for the
No,
years.
they're awesome.
Okay, so
Bushmaster
my
ARs.
two favorite fight calibers, okay, my go-to guns is 6.8, 7.62 by 39, because I'm a firm believer in the heavier caliber, the larger bore than 5.56. 5.56 is a varmint cartridge, okay. You shoot groundhogs
don't
and
know about
prairie
you, I shot
dogs
some varmint
with
overseas.
yeah, I know, but depends on what projectile you're using.
Yeah.
So a 7.62 by 39 AR makes so much sense because I've been around AK-47s my whole military life, 30 years in Special Forces. Only time I carried a AK, actually it was an AKM, was in Saudi Arabia and in Iraq because I wanted the folding buttstock because I'm in a Humvee and I'm tight.
Yep.
I can't use it in M4, you know. So what people don't understand is, and I always say this, all you ballistic coefficient guys, 123 grain 7.62 by 39 bullet, according to the ballistic scientists, has no ballistic coefficient. It'll drop out of the air at 200 yards. But I saw guys get hit by 7.62 by 39.
bullshit.
You are out of the fight.
Yeah.
You
So
you are
it's
out
not
of
the
the
most
fight.
accurate round,
No,
but
the
it's-
rifle is not the most accurate round.
No, but the bullets not
No, also-
that
also-
accurate comparatively. It's not, but
It's pre and spray.
it's not a 200-meter round. You're right. It's got plenty more juice than that. Where I was getting to is the rifle is a piece of shit in terms of accuracy. The old AK-47s,
Yeah.
and they weren't supposed to be sniper
Well,
weapons.
go back to the doctrine. When they were built,
Exactly.
they were built for mass quantity,
Exactly.
throwing down full auto fire,
And reliability.
And reliability.
Reliability.
And any
mass
monkey,
fucking rush.
No.
and any
from the
monkey
Soviets.
that picks up that gun has to be able to use it no problem.
I have
Right?
one
Exactly.
back in my
Rawson actually
country.
carried one for a living. I've deployed with one a couple of times. Well, really 74s, which I was going to
That-
bring up the question. What is the shittiest gun you've
I
ever had
served
to
with
fight with?
74.
Which to me, AK-74.
Because the
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing. I'll explain if you guys are
Now,
interested. but-
in regards to the AK-47 7.62 by 39 millimeter round, I run the Hornady 7.62 by 39 with 123 grain
Good ammo.
yeah, good ammo
tip,
makes the difference.
ballistic,
right?
bow tail bullet.
30.
And out of that Rock River AR, it shoots hard.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
shoots hard.
Look, there are three things that create accuracy. Ammunition,
Be careful.
The
Be careful.
rifle,
Be careful where you go
and the
now.
monkey. Look, there's three factors
Ah,
to being
that sounds like Carl right there.
well.
He said the three things that make accuracy is a rifle, the ammunition, and the monkey shooting it.
Yeah,
That sounds like Carl.
The correct term is mammal.
mammal. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mammal.
And the idiot shooting the gun, right? So, so yeah, those are the three factors. If you screw up two out of the three,
And mammal,
So Chuck, basically,
come up with a acronym in the middle there, it would be IMRI.
so Chuck, basically, doing a live stream, YouTube does not allow us to touch a firearm during a live stream because remember, a live stream is different from a podcast. A podcast is filmed, videoed, and then it's played later.
Steve, they
So-
know this better than we do.
No, but this is Chuck's first time watching the show.
Oh, okay.
He's the president owner of Rock River Arms.
I didn't realize he
So-
was on here. What's up, Chuck? How you
Where
doing,
does
brother?
the 300 blackout live in this whole ecosystem?
Ask it again.
So where does the 300 blackout live in this whole ecosystem?
It
Under
doesn't.
the porch.
It
Under
doesn't.
the porch. 300 blackout has a very specific intended use.
Suppressed.
Right? Suppressed, very close range. Right? That
I-
if you're talking
I-
about a round that truly is
I can show-
sub 200 meters,
Okay.
there's a good example. Right?
Okay, I can show you some targets from way before the 300 blackout and 300 whisper per Mr. J.D. Jones. Let's give him his flowers. He designed it first, then the CAD guys took it over and changed the name.
Yeah.
I can show you subsonic 200 grain Sierra Match King out of a 7.62 by 39 12-inch barrel shooting under an inch 5-round groups that was
What are-
done. That was
what are
done.
its
Wait a
terminal
minute.
ballistics at 200?
Let me reach out here. That was done in 2001
Okay.
as part of the SPR program to go to 7.62 by 39, which
Yep.
Reed Knight built his SR-47.
Right.
We were running 200 grain Sierra Match Kings out of 7.62 by 39, shooting under an inch 5-shot group subsonic at 875 feet per second.
Okay.
The blackout didn't come till like 10 years later.
Yeah.
So
ACC
it's
did that, didn't they? ACC?
AAC,
AAC.
same thing. It was the CAD guys. Whenever you see a company jump out of
And
from nowhere
by the
and
way-
they're like rolling like SIG, it's always a CAD guy in the woodpile somewhere.
By the way, so when if we're talking about like 300 black and saying, well, it's only good to 200 meters, blah blah blah, and of course there's terminal ballistics, not just accuracy involved. That doesn't make it a shit round, right? It's a purpose designed round, and you have to know what the tool is that you're equipping yourself with. It's got to be appropriate for the job that you want it to do, right? I think 300 black is a wonderful round. As long as that's what you need. But, if that's what you need it to do, it's a good round.
Can I just say something real quick about rounds? So when I was a kid, they're not square. They're not square. my dad used to go. He worked on the horse racing industry with a bunch of jockeys and trainers, and they used to go bear hunting in Canada, in the middle of Canada. So when I was about 11 or 12, I can't remember, they let me go with them one year. I remember this is the middle of nowhere on logging roads. So ahead, we all stopped one day. A bunch of natives up in Canada had killed a moose. And then we all walked around. They were very nice, and we talked and whatnot. They spoke English. My dad asked them what they used to kill the moose, and they said a 222. They said they shoot everything with it. A Remington 7 Series.
Yep.
And we were shocked because we all had 30-06s and 300 belted magnums, and you know what I mean. And they said, we always shoot them in the head.
Yeah, look, and
That
that's
was an eye opener for me about shot placement. And
look, a 222
think
is
that's
not
the most important thing.
It's not
in
that
general.
underpowered, right? It's just a smaller bullet.
Oh, yeah.
Flying fast.
Yeah.
Right? And shot placement. So I think look, we have laws on minimum caliber for
As we
what type
should.
of game,
As
right?
we should.
Exactly.
As
As we should. Why? Because
Marksmanship.
99.9% of people, and this is nothing against hunters. I'm a hunter, right?
they never trained.
But 99% of people who hunt don't know the first thing about, they don't even know that they suck at shooting, right? Because they go out, they put their rifle on a bench, and they're sitting behind this bench
100 yards.
at 100 yards, and they hit a piece of paper. Guys, that's not shooting, right? You go out, are you going to be sitting behind a bench to take your 350 something estimated shot at an elk? No. So, adrenaline goes up.
Adrenaline, for sure.
You can't
That's a
say
big factor.
all of us miss shots. All of
big
us
factor.
miss shots, right? I've missed a deer. I haven't missed tons of deer, but I've certainly missed a few. And I think I'm an okay shot, right? So shot placement's super important. Good call. Here's our Rock River. This is an actual. Let me clip this so I can.
That's cool.
Unless you want to hold this.
I'll hold it for you. That's a Rock River mag.
So it's an actual Rock River mag, Hornady AMAX or VMAX?
AMAX.
AMAX. Hornady
That's good
AMAX bullets.
That's really good ammo.
So
Well,
AMAX
that's-
and VMAX
that's all-
look the
that's-
same to the
that's the,
eye.
uh,
They
that's
got
the-
the red tip.
That's the SST because it's cantaloupe.
Yep, they do have a cantilever.
So that's the 762 by 39, 123 grain SST
I
cantaloupe.
would not want to be in
Nice.
a gunfight against you with that.
I didn't realize Rock River was making their mags too.
That's a really cool looking mag, too. Look
Okay,
how
so
smooth it is.
off the bat, there's some things I already like about it. So nice polymer mag. Obviously, you're going to have that shape, the banana shape, and that has a lot to do with the shape of the round.
You
It's
need it
super
because
fat.
of that pretty express bottleneck. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But everything here is rounded. I wouldn't mind if they rounded the back corners too, but other than these two corners, everything's nice and rounded, other than obviously the parts that have to be not rounded.
Looks solid.
What fits in this is it's a 30 round, straight 30. Nice.
It's full, just polymer.
Yeah, straight up polymer.
Straight up
So
polymer,
Rawson
yeah.
actually carried, when he served, he carried an AK variant. They were all, so Rawson, when you were in,
74 though.
what's that, AK-74?
Yeah.
Oh, really? The 5
Yeah.
mils, really?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't realize it.
What's the deal
So
with that caliber versus the 5.56?
But I still have
that
a
caliber.
original AKM, Russian-made AKM.
So you guys in the Bulgarian army were issued Russian-made weapons?
No. Most of them, no.
They were Bulgarian.
After that, I own a Russian.
Oh, gotcha,
AKM.
gotcha.
That's the idea.
Now yours were
Arsenal,
Circle 9,
Arsenal,
right?
obviously.
They were Circle 9 Arsenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Circle 10.
10, I'm sorry.
Circle
I'm sorry.
9 is a different factory still in Bulgaria.
So for those of you guys who don't know what we're talking about, the Circle 9, Circle 10, if you look at the old AK variants, the ones that were made in certain factories have literally it's a circle with a number in it, and Circle 10. I'd always wondered until we talked, and the circle with a number that designates what factory it was made at. Circle 10.
So
is
basically,
Arsenal in
there are
Bulgaria.
multiple factories that are producing, different type of weaponry in the Warsaw Pact, right? In the Eastern.
Warsaw Pact, yep.
Yeah, and every factory that actually has a number, but it was uniformed by the circle and the number of the factory.
Right.
And
By
because
Russia.
Arsenal. It's
Right?
just a Warsaw Pact in
that how they
general, so
labeled all the
uniform.
Warsaw
Yes,
Pact?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we got all
And
kinds of stuff on here.
Arsenal turned to be the factory number 10 in a
Okay.
Warsaw Pact that produces, the
So let me ask you this. I mean, and obviously when you were in the Army, you weren't the shooter you are now, but when you were in the Army shooting the 5mm, right, the AK-74, what is it, 5.45 by something
545,
different,
but
by
that's
39.
just a different caliber measurements.
Yeah. So
Eastern Bloc versus the NATO.
it's essentially,
Same.
it's
Approximated
essentially,
5.56.
yep, it's supposed to essentially give the answer to
Few
the
to-
US 5.56 or the UN 5.56
few
by
to
then, the
group to
NATO
group.
5.56.
Yeah.
Accurate package.
It's not. They did a lot of nice things with AK-74 because the gun changed as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, the main changes that I felt on it are, plastic instead of bakelite furniture.
Yeah.
And or instead of wood, depending on where your AK-47 came
They
from.
switched with AK-47s like that as
Yeah,
well later on.
and the thing is, here's what I hated about the 74, right? Because I had to carry them for a little bit for some jobs.
Stamp receivers, that's for sure.
Yeah. What I hated was not because I had no idea at the time what what was different. They were like, "Here's your guns for this job." All right, that's what we had. All Russian stuff. So, I can't get into the rest of it, but just running that gun felt like I didn't know what I'm doing because if I felt weak, and here's why: that gun is not heavy at all.
No, it's
right?
light.
It's
Pretty
light,
light.
but 100% of the weight sits in front of your trigger hand, and so the gun feels horrible when you shoot it. I felt like the muzzle flip on it was it felt terrible. It felt terrible. Follow-up shots sucked.
Yeah, so guns like what Steve just brought to our attention, the AR platform modified to take actual AK mags
Yep.
has been the holy grail.
You're keeping your, so to speak, American
Everybody
muscle
should have
memory.
that in their arsenal.
You're keeping your American muscle memory other than
Yeah.
changing mags.
A better
Everything's the
system,
same.
though. Muscle
Correct.
memory or not, a better system.
One
More
of the positive
accurate.
things about the 74s, though, what they changed and they straight up the buttstock.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
So
See, the
yep.
thing with
And that's
the
big
AK-74 and the 5.45, Russia fell into that trap of trying to match the United States military performance, not realizing that we were trying to get away from the 5.56. They went to the 5.45.
And that was the reason that they created the 5.45.
Right.
Just to be alternative of 5.56.
And then in Afghanistan, during the Afghanistan and Russia war, the Afghans would get a hold of the AK-74s, and I think they called it the stinging bullet or something like that. I have to go back and look, but I remember they would capture those, but then when they would use them against the Russians, the
I got it.
Lone Star tick,
It's a Lone Star. Yep.
they would use them against the Russians, and they would say, we don't like these, because whenever their guys got hit, they just called it the stinging bullet.
Really?
Which, yeah, because
So you're saying the 5.45 is super underpowered, is what I'm hearing.
No, it
When-
would
when-
ice pick through the
Yeah.
skinny Afghanis.
Ice
well,
pick. Okay, got
keep
it.
in mind,
Got it.
TR Nation, when we talk about military firearms, weapons, we talk about ammunition, you have an advantage as a American citizen to use whatever ammunition you want to use. Military forces are restricted under the Geneva Convention and the law of land warfare to use full metal jacket bullets, and in certain cases, we use the Sierra Match King, HPBT, hollow point
Which is-
bolt
which is a
hollow tip bolt
non-expanding-
was a non-expanding bullet.
hollow point.
What I was just showing you with the Hornady 123 grain 760 by 39 SST is it is using a polymer tip bullet. You have the advantage to use different kind of ammunition in regards to the projectile that's on that case. Remember a couple of shows ago I talked about the 5.56 62 grain trophy bonded bear claw, which is the FBI's load, which is an amazing load in 5.56. The military can't use that, except for in certain situations
Which,
where
of course, is
where
ridiculous. Right. I mean, there's things that make sense.
Yeah.
Don't use, phosphor grenades and that kind of thing. Okay, I get it. But with the ammo thing, it's silly. It's completely silly.
It has been silly for over 60 years.
Yep.
Because basically, I can't shoot you with better performance ammo to take you out of the fight, but I can call in the B-52
Right.
and blow you to smithereens.
Blow your whole
Right.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but let's give everybody bullets that ice pick through everybody, like the SS-109, which actually do a reasonably okay job. But let's make sure the person behind the person I'm shooting gets shot. Right? Let's ice pick through everything.
Well, basically, if I recall correctly, the people at the top, the program people dealing with weapons and ammunition, they always say, well, if you shoot one person, that takes 5 people off the battlefield because 4 of the people have to carry that guy off.
Logistics.
Our enemies could give a shit about carrying somebody off. They're going to run up to him and say,
Strip his body.
they're going to say,
Keep moving.
they're going to say, Allah Akbar, and they're going to take his rifle and ammunition. They're going to keep on fighting.
Hey, Steve,
true.
question for you. Didn't some bureaucratic organization years ago claim that SS-109 was the most humane ammo because the way it penetrated and went through? No, I'm serious.
I know you're serious, and I have no doubt they said that.
That's what they...
The problem is that everybody that makes decisions regarding firearms, everyone, doesn't know the first fucking thing about firearms. Not one thing.
No, they don't know the first thing about that
Why
two-way
they're designed
range.
for it.
Exactly.
When that two-way range
I have
cranks
no
up,
doubt.
Yeah,
I have no
they're,
doubt.
they're experts in their field, but not.
I'm gonna give you a good example. When I was developing the Mark 12 SPR, and I was working with the guys, the program manager of the M16A2, and we had a demonstration on Fort Campbell. We brought all these agencies in,
Carl.
and when I was talking to the program manager, I mentioned something about, well, when you shoot the M16, this happens, this happens. He goes,
Got a beer.
well, no, I don't understand what you're saying. And
Here, you want wine?
Go and try it.
yeah.
No, I ain't gonna drink your shit. There's a bottle.
He wants to be fancy.
He said, and I asked him the next question. I said, but when you shoot the M16A2, he said, no, I never shot it. I said, no, not today on the range, but when you're back in Rock Island, you're the program manager, when you shoot it. He goes, I never shot the M16A2. I said, you're the program manager for the United States Army and all the services for the M16A2. Are you telling me that you never shot it? He goes, no, I have never shot it. I said, you're the program manager for the M16A2,
How come?
and you never shot it yourself.
Why are you surprised?
That's the kind of stuff that we deal with.
What about even from curiosity? What about
Yeah.
that? Come on.
Yeah.
It's
He told me, he said, Steve, when I need some data from the M16A2, I call down to the range, tell them what I need done, and then the managers manage the managers who manage the guy that actually puts the rifle in the rest and shoots it. He was the program manager for all the services for 4 years. He had never, ever picked the gun up and shot it. And he was a good guy. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but I'm just saying that's the kind of bureaucracy we deal with.
That was a hell of a question because I got like an hour.
Hey, do we have more questions, Carl?
Yeah, I got so many questions. It's not even funny.
Steve, what's your favorite color?
Well, let me tell you.
But hey, here's a Chuck Lawson
I started
out at
doing
Rock
Steve's
River Arms.
questions when Steve
We
wasn't
will
here.
get to you, hopefully, and I'll get with Carl. Our next show is going to be Tuesday up at Louisville, Kentucky, at the Louisville Armory. And
Louisville.
Louisville.
We're working with Steve on saying
Louisville.
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 Hey,
So-
look at me, Steve.
Louisville.
Vull.
Louisville.
There you go.
Louisville.
Louisville.
Louisville Armory.
All right.
This coming Tuesday.
I learned
We're going to
pretty
do a
quick,
show
though.
from there because we'll be running low light training, and we will get
Around the fire with it.
the opportunity to show the viewers the LAR 47 because
Do you have a-
these guys who have all my respect and who are into the firearms training industry, I'm surprised that they've never heard of the LAR 47.
I'm sure I've seen. Do you have one?
I'm gonna show it. I can't show it during the live stream.
Later.
We can't touch
I
it
know,
on
I
live
know,
stream.
I don't know about
I
you
meant
guys.
later.
I want the internet to know that I do not have one.
Neither do
I'm only saying that because a certain somebody's looking.
Me either.
Yeah.
I don't have one either.
So-
I tell you what.
I'm
I do
good.
have Rock River Arms rifles.
All right, guys, we got a real question. See what number one, alcohol. Number two, the lack of brain cells to start off with, right? You understand?
What?
Emery's brain is going to grow, and it's going to grow, and it's going to grow bigger, and Emery's brain is going to keep growing, and Emery's brain is going to grow some more.
Problem is, I got a small
and then
skull. I don't know where to put
eventually,
it.
it's going to be the size of a pea. It's going to roll.
See how it
and fall
grows
out
right
his
there?
ear.
It gets out.
But all right, we got a question here. This one's for Steve Holland. Who saw this coming? This is from your buddy G. You know the muzzle brake up,
Hey,
on the
G.
tower.
Okay.
Sup,
G.
I love G. What's up, G?
Sup,
G.
G? Sup? How you doing, G?
G had the 338 Lapua bullpup up on the tower with 4 horizontal muzzle brakes next to everybody else.
Mr. Steve
G
Holland.
shows up. G shows up with giant rifles in a little mini or smart car.
Yeah. We give him a hard time about that car only because we
He's
have
awesome.
to. By
'Cause he
law,
can
by
take-
law,
hey,
you have to
it's
give.
way better
By
than
law,
to
if
show up
somebody's
with a big
driving a
car with
smart car,
very
you have to
tiny
give him a
small
hard
gun.
time about it. All right,
Better.
My whole life.
Mr. Steve Holland, what zero and ammunition grain weight combo would you recommend to maximize the accuracy of my 308 AR that has a 16-inch lightweight barrel with a 1 in 10 twist? My optic is an EOTech 1-6. So I have a bit of range, but engagements will probably be less than 400 or 500 yards where I live. God bless you, Steve, and the TR family. Much love.
Man, he's sucking up tonight, huh?
He's sucking up.
Oh man.
All right, go ahead, Steve.
G.
Lightweight barrel.
You're trying to get your way back inside, but I still have flashbacks of that blast
I
and having to
hear
put
about
up
it every time.
Pelican
Shows up.
weapon cases between you and everybody else just to make it through the day. And that was before the chopper.
Hey, Larson sends you a message.
The chopper. So, G, for one thing, and again, guys, some of these questions are hard to answer because it's all about the ammunition.
And the reticle.
Your ammo, your barrel length is 16 and a half, which is not optimum for 7.62 by 51 308 Winchester. I would have to know what your velocity is, your bullet weight and your velocity.
That's what he's asking you. What ammo should he run with it?
155 grain.
Yes.
155 grain Hornady tap, or the Hornady, I think it's the ELX, or I think they call it another line. They have the 155 grain black.
From the top rope behind curtain number
That-
1, we're going with the 155 grain Hornady tap.
Yes, we are.
Tactical Application Police. Excellent ammo for this lightweight barrel, 16-inch 308 AR,
16 and
owned
a
by
half
G.
I'm
All right, G, I hope
I'm
we
so
got
glad
that
you
one for you.
guys actually.
All right, I'm going to give the mic back to... Guys, I'm going to give the mic back to Emery. And here's the deal. We got another question from a patron.
Here.
All right, you bailing?
No.
God damn it, Steve. The next question's for you, too.
Yeah. No.
Where you going?
All right, this question's for everybody, but I'm going to have...
Three.
I'll tell you what, let's have Steve read. Let's have Donnie read it. Here, pass it over to Donnie.
I didn't know it was a comedy show.
Your fucking life's a comedy show.
Don't bump the damn mic. I got it.
Don't screw the mic. Check the mic.
Hold on. I'm going to switch with you. You guys didn't know this was musical mics. Give me this one. There we go.
Musical mics.
All right. Sing away, brother.
Hi, this is Casey Kasem. This week's letter comes from Carl. Carl writes,
Perfect, dude.
Dear Casey,
All right, right here, the one down bottom that says all, and it's continued on the next page.
Dear morons. Here you go.
Oh. 10.5 upper M4.
No,
we already did
bottom,
that. Oh,
bottom.
bottom. Sorry.
Well, there's two that say all. Don't confuse Donnie, man.
Oh.
He drove all day.
They both say all fuckers.
I know. That's what I said.
How awesome and blessed do you all feel about everyone coming together with this great blessing we call Tactical Rifleman? This great learning group formed by Carl has become
Completely out of their mind.
more than a top-notch training group with some of the best trainers around. It has become a close family. Plus, I might add it's become a family with the TR Patreon supporters also. When we all get together, it's a family reunion with a ton of laughing, having dinner together in a big group, down some drinks, chopped off fingertips, broken arms, and now I'm getting a bit carried away, but at this current time, no one has gotten arrested as of yet at the
I'd like to
Patreon
say
event.
I know who this is. I know who this is, and the name's not on there.
A pretty good idea. But can you all share as a group of what this training group called Tactical Rifleman means to you? Your English is a little bad. Means to you, and did you ever think it would become something more than just a job from the retired SGM to teach others to become a capable citizens?
So,
The last time
so
we
let me
got
let me
together
let me start this a second
was
because you
at
don't have a
Patreon.
microphone.
Yeah.
So first of all, thank you, Erica.
Yes.
Yeah, you hold on to it. Thanks, Erica. I know you by your spelling and all your comments, but I love you. I love you because you're awesome. So I'm like the mushy one here with feelings and stuff. Right? I have one more than Carl. I have hot, cold, recoil, and then anger. So just FYI, those are the 4 feelings. But
And hunger.
man, let me say this because I say this a lot. The TR family to me for years, and Carl will attest to this because the very first time I met Carl, it was here on the hill.
Here on the hill.
And we chatted for a while. We hit it off. We're like, okay, well, this is cool. And I told Carl, I was like, hey, look, I've lived a lot of places. I love living in the States. I wouldn't choose to live anywhere else. That's why I live here. But what I've been missing, I have family everywhere. I have family in tons of different countries, right? Like family, not. And I don't mean blood family, right? Family by choice. That's the real
Are
family.
you missing the man love aspect
So-
of the Israeli forces?
No, because I have it here, and that's actually exactly what I'm getting to. Is when I talked to Carl that first time, I was like, "Look, man, I love it here, but what I've been looking for all these years, is I want a team. I want my team back. I want not necessarily the same team. I need a team in the military sense of the word, right?
A wolf needs a pack.
Which a wolf needs a pack, exactly. And team and family to me are interchangeable, right? It's the same word.
Did you
So-
read the book I recommended to you, Tribe?
I don't know how to read. That's why you're reading. But yeah. So and the TR. So first of all, everybody involved on our end of TR, I can attest, are especially now, the family as we have it now, are tremendous Americans. Period.
Oh, just
And
tremendous
tremendous
people.
family.
Yeah.
Period. Add to that, really, when you see the patrons, right? When you see the people involved with us daily, man, what an awesome, like we've dealt with 2 psychos in all these years. 2.
Which is
That's
amazing with the
nothing.
internet.
That's nothing.
But listen-
We have the best people around us because we're blessed, man. We're blessed with having
We
the
are.
best people around
Anybody
us.
was ever in a hole? I don't give a shit what it is. If you were in a hole and
Like
you
the
reached
right
out-
hole or the wrong hole?
Come on, spot.
Hey, it's 2023. It's okay these days.
I'm sorry, Donnie.
Fuck you, Valky. But no, if anybody was in a spot, down in a hole in the dark pit, or whatever, all you gotta do is call.
Yeah, and by the way, that's not a hypothetical.
No,
It's not a hypothetical because we've had many cases, not even with us, right? With other patrons, a patron will come up and be like, "Hey, I got this issue, that issue," and it's happened a dozen times, and everybody gets together and gets that person through it, and that That, people, that's
the
what
sauce.
America is.
That's the sauce, dude.
That's what America needs to get
Bingo,
back to.
Bingo. That's
right?
what I said earlier.
Yep.
We all
Absolutely.
said the same exact shit.
I'm sorry, I cut
just
you
in a
off,
different
brother.
way.
No,
But it was
you're-
the same
you're
exact.
absolutely
That's
correct.
the sauce.
And
We got each other's backs.
Yep.
That's the sauce.
Yep.
And
Sometimes
that's what we need to learn as Americans. When I was talking earlier about what I love the most about America, you know, beyond all the 1%, the 5% that's causing all this divisiveness, you can reach out and say, I have a problem, I have an issue, I have an emergency, and we will come.
Yep.
You build it, they will come. We will come. And I know that everybody that I am interacting with is the same way. There's nothing out there that you can't reach out to us or we can't reach out to each other. And even Randy, he's in Montana right now. And Randy said, hey, I got an issue. First thing we do, what's your GPS address?
Tell you what,
And we roll.
last year, I'm glad you brought that up. Last year that happened with Randy. Randy was in Montana and he had a problem back here. Like a problem. Right? What does he do? I mean, obviously what anybody would do. You call your brothers and you go and you take care of it, right? Because family's family, period. Family by choice.
Family is family, nation is nation.
Can I share something real quick? Just because it just happened and it's personal. So I'm good friends, and I'm not going to name everybody's names. I'm good friends with a lady named Cricket, and I shoot on her property. She's a great lady. Her boyfriend John is one of the guys that used to run the Robin Sage program for the Green Berets. Right? He's a group guy, right? Former action guy, right? Saturday night, her son was hit by a car and killed, and she did a GoFundMe, and everybody from our immediate community, which is a lot of Green Beret guys and responsible citizens that they train and all that, they stepped on Patreon today and covered the funeral and everything. Wow. I just thought that, can't do anything to lessen the burden of losing a child, but you can lessen the burden of the financial responsibility. And everybody stepped up and did that, and that's the kind of family we have here, and that is a microcosm of America. Going back to the original conversation.
And that's why that's a leading question, because Erica knows this. So I actually appreciate that question, because you're making us say shit like that on the internet.
I love you, man.
I love you, man.
Hey, just a real quick note. I got a text from Chuck Lawson, the president owner of Rock River Arms, and he's watching. They're having a military, law enforcement, first responders sale for 7% off any of their products for the next 7 months.
I know.
For 7 months.
Yeah.
So they're essentially like, hey, we're just going to be awesome, like, for not 3 days.
Yeah.
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 And to Mr. G, I had to go over and grab some.
155.
155.
Wow. That's beautiful.
that's
155 Hornady AMAX.
That's beautiful. We'll take a little bit.
As we say, send it on the way.
El Primo.
So here's
Fancy.
the thing, man.
Guapo.
Steve, I kind of wish you weren't here for this, and here's why. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean that because
care.
no, because what I'm about to say sounds douchey because you're here. But so like
Douche me.
close your ears or whatever.
Douche me.
Douche me.
I'm not sure that you know what douche means, Steve.
I do.
He's been
But
around
you my
longer
brother,
than
man. Douche me.
But here's well, there goes that thought.
Look, she's like,
Joey's dying over there. No, but best round, honestly, and this is why I'm saying this, right? And I have proof that this is a long-standing thing. Best round, period, all around. Best round, period, all around for our kind of work. 6.8 SPC. RPG. RPG.
Are you at 6.8?
150%. 6.8 SPC for the all-around the round. See, exactly. This is why I was saying that.
Motherfuckers need to do
Let's
push-ups.
go back to
They gotta do
Erica's
push-ups
stuff.
to carry that gun, dude.
I would like to mention something about the TR family.
Go ahead, Ross.
Zoring. So
Go ahead,
you
Ross.
know that I'm sometimes receiving SMS, messages from, and I write them down like philosophical thoughts because I like philosophy from time to time, occasionally.
Yeah.
So first thing about the TR family, I had that kind of a a thought that I formulated. What is a real power first?
What is real power?
What is a real power, philosophically said? To have a power to take, but instead of that, to give.
Well, that's not real power. That's manifesting power in the correct way, maybe. For good.
In
right?
my point of view, that's a real power
Yeah.
when you're talking about manifesting power. And the second thing is that, the real strength of the people or the group of people is if they're the unity, right? Like in a grip. Keep the fingers together to grip tighter. Same with the people. And I think that's the two essential things that the TR family is sharing here.
I like that. I have certain God-given talents. One of them is I surround myself with good people.
Went into it.
So
I hear crickets.
no. Granted, they're not all here, but
Yeah, I'm definitely not all there.
no, I got good people. Yeah, without a doubt. Hey, real quick, you guys see me wandering back and forth. It's because my knee's killing me. I'm trying to walk it off. But every once in a while, I chat at the chat room, and Lil Bentley, FOE. Your mama named you weird. That's a weird name, by the way. Lil Bentley, FOE. His dad passed away. His dad was a Korean War and Vietnam War vet, and just passed away. He said his dad meant a lot to him, and I just want to say, for us, but you guys in the chat room, please show support for this guy. Pray for him, because I know losing somebody important to you, a big member of your family like that, it's a tough blow. This 4th of July, right, we do this every year. Well, my father-in-law passed away late June, not this year, prior. And he used to love coming out to the shed here. He'd have all his redneck business buddies here. I'd have all my buddies, and we would have us a great time. And you talk to people here that have met my father-in-law. Me and Donnie were talking about it earlier at dinner with my wife. Me being in the military, I look up to certain people, okay? But you would think that those would be war fighters and stuff like that. One of the greatest guys I've ever met in my life was my father-in-law. And we built this shed. We call it a shed. If you go in the back, there's bales of straw and stuff. But if you come in the front room here, it's got a full kitchen, full bathroom, 2 dining room tables, 2 restaurant booths, neon ceiling fans. Yeah. It's nice. We enjoy the shed. Yeah. But this was because my father-in-law, he could have drove any car he wanted. Instead, he bought a grill and a bunch of beer, and he just wanted to hang out and grill with his family. And he explained to me how important family is. So this is a very hard time for my family. It's still one of our favorite holidays. We get together tomorrow night here at the shed, and that's why we're doing the live stream tonight. Tomorrow night is for my family. Not that you guys aren't my family, but tomorrow is for family. And we have a fridge in the back. There is still a bottle of wild turkey that my father-in-law cracked open, and there was a row of little disposable shot glasses. The whole top door of the fridge is all. And tomorrow night we're gonna be hoisting up into the air a round for my father-in-law. So if you guys are. You got a minute, please, in the chat room, express your condolences to this guy for losing an important person in his life. Part of what makes America great, and the reason why we celebrate what our founding fathers did 247 years ago, was they gave up everything. If you go back and look, and I understand a lot of those were high-powered businessmen, but you go back at the end of the war and you look at, remember, some of these guys were big, high-level politicians in the colonies. They were big, powerful plantation owners and business owners and everything. And a lot of them lost everything. A lot of them were incarcerated. A lot of them had to flee the country. And they did all that, which sucks that we've got people bashing them today. But the reality is they had a vision for something better. What were they bitching about? Taxation without representation. I mean, because they were being taxed to death. I want to say it was like 4%.
It was 3.
3%?
We just about went to war over a 3%
3% tax. 3%. I think that's awesome.
All
right, guys.
What are we at? Oh, hold on. There's apparently a question here for me. That's why this was passed over.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead. Grab that
Not
next
to
one.
bring up Passover or nothing, but all right. It says
It's from Donut, by the way.
Imri. This? Okay. Well, Donut apparently is a woman now. I know Donut. He's not a chick. What is a good self-defense knife for a wife?
He's his wife, by the way. All right.
Why are you stepping on my dick, dude?
Because Emery.
Not long enough to be stepped on. Christ. All right. What is a good self-defense knife for a wife who isn't yet comfortable with carrying a gun yet? That's run on. Thinking something
She
that
did
could
take
be
Pistol 101. She
safely
did.
carried in a purse, yet strong enough to defend and easy enough to operate. So here's the bottom line, right? It doesn't matter what brand. It doesn't matter. All that stuff doesn't matter so much, right? What matters, because here's why. It doesn't matter if it's a fancy steel, right? By the way, Donnie's big time knife guy as well. We have a lot of knife discussions. He's a knife designer as well. But as long as you can quickly deploy it, right?
That's the key.
So-
Deployment's everything.
Quickly
Maybe
deploy.
a K-bar on the angle. cutter
Well,
or-
that's why I'm saying it doesn't matter what it is, right? Because as long as you can quickly deploy it and keep it sharp. So my recommendation, and I know this is a lot of women take a step back when they hear this because it sounds like, oh, no, that's not me, right? And I'm not going to give you a brand because I don't care about brands. What I will say is I would recommend a fixed blade, a small fixed
Absolutely.
blade. And
With a curved, some kind of curved hilt.
it doesn't
So
even
they can
have
wrap-
to. It doesn't even have to, but it does make the draw easier,
it does.
right? That's one of the things I love about karambits. So, right? So Donnie's saying, you know, where your grip is kind of curved and that kind of thing. For example, an example of that where it's not really a curve that occurs to people, but the old K-bar that you mentioned,
Yeah.
right? Where you have just a
Law enforcement
little
knife,
triangle
yeah.
spike coming out the front. So that's what I would recommend is something smaller. I would recommend a
She'll
cutting
actually
edge of
carry.
about 2 inches.
Something she'll actually carry.
Right, a cutting edge of about 2 inches is a happy space for that application, and the reason is you're not telling your wife, who's not you. Your wife is not you, right? Otherwise, she'd be carrying, you know, a 1911 around or whatever, right? So a fixed blade, there's nothing to the deployment in terms of mechanics of the knife itself. There are tons of different ways. You know what? I will recommend a brand, but that's just me
Well, yeah.
self-promoting. Tim
okay.
Kell, T-Kell Knives.
And worthy of self.
Yeah. I agree. Otherwise, I wouldn't work with Tim. But I'm trying to not make this a sales pitch, right? Because I hate sales pitches. Fixed blade, 2 to 3 inch long blade. Doesn't have to be any longer. I wouldn't go shorter than 2 inches.
And the curved handle's easier to carry.
The curved handles make it easier to carry on a smaller framed person.
Absolutely.
Right?
100%.
It's literally, especially if you're carrying up here, I'll tell you what, we'll get into it a little bit more this week on Carl's Patreon. That will do. I don't know if it'll get released this week. I'll film it this week for his Patreon, and I'll do a separate thing for mine as well. But that's a really good question. The type of knife, here's why I say the steel type doesn't matter as much, and the design doesn't matter as much, is only use it for self-defense. And if it's a crappy steel, guess what? Dull it on that guy's bones.
It doesn't matter.
And then get yourself a new
Yeah.
$30 blade.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
$440.
Yeah, if it's there's nothing wrong with 440.
Well,
I love 440.
440.
Now we can nerd out on this shit all day.
we-
The bottom line is it doesn't matter. All the fancy schmancy shit that we go back and forth on, it doesn't matter for that application.
It's splitting hairs.
It is splitting hairs.
D2 is all you need. I'm just
D2, in my opinion, is the best blade steel there is.
Bottom line is, for every day, have a knife, have a life.
have a knife.
Have a knife, have a life. I like that.
That's Randy.
I like
Randy should be part of
Dude,
it.
that was almost
Yeah.
in the fire. That
No, it was
tough.
in the fire, but I got it out quickly. That was the microphone cable. It was me. Yeah, look, I like that. And that's the bottom line is, guys, it's same thing with guns. Dude, I don't care about your Daniel defense. I don't give a shit. If you're coming to our classes, I don't care about your fancy Glock with holes in the slide. I don't care. Don't show it to me. Show me how you shoot. Show me how you apply what we teach. I don't give a shit about your blingy gun. I
High
don't.
shooter is almost always the guy with the cheapest stuff, but he practices more.
Yeah,
than
like
everybody
look at
else.
Joey. Joey's sitting right here, right? Joey was runner-up to high shooter a couple years ago. Carl brings this up in classes all the time. Donnie and Joey came and shot one of our classes. It was a ball, right? We had a good time.
Awesome.
Joey, if she had like 3 more inches, which is what we all say, right? But if Joey had 3 more inches height, she would have been high shooter, right? The only reason she wasn't high shooter was because with a little PCC,
You know,
by
the
the way, it
V
wasn't even a
type.
full-on rifle. And the only reason was because it cost her a few seconds to get up to
Stand on the
that
ammo
hole.
cans.
Fire
Yep,
and
and we had to run over ammo cans for her to stand on to actually reach the port she had to shoot out of. The gun doesn't matter, guys.
She showed
Have
up
it
with no
sighted
bad
in,
habits,
you know, and come play.
Like I
Now,
like to say,
in a couple of shows ago, and I always bring up this story to give you comparison. Today, on my way here, I stopped by Gun and Knife Country in Oak Grove, Kentucky, to give Miss Sarah back her box of 28 gauge that she let me borrow for last show.
Yeah.
And one of the guys, he's a former Marine, he's a great guy. He said, "Hey man, we got a Bergara, and nothing against Bergara,
Good guns.
but I'm just want to point this out. What I explained to him. I walked over, looked at the gun, Bergara 6.5 Creedmoor, like nothing's been killed before then. And I looked at the price, and I told him, I said, "Can I tell you a story?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "I was out doing my workups on 6.8 SBC, powders, bullet weight, everything else. Jay Johnson, my brother, was out working with me out at Rattlesnake Ridge, and he said, "Steve, can I bring my hunting rifle tomorrow so we can shoot it zeroed in?" I said, "What caliber is it?" He said, "270. I said, "I got some 270 ammo that might work for you, but I need to take your gun home. I need to take my Stony Point overall length gauge and check your throat and your lead. Make sure because I run my 270s long, deep." So took the gun home, checked it. It matched up to my ammo, about 25,000. Next day,
Steve, you're saying you run the bullet long, not the case,
the bullet long, right?
Yeah.
to be
Yes.
specific.
Yeah, the overall length of the case is beyond Sammy specs. Total.
Of the
total,
cartridge,
total,
not the
oh,
case.
the cartridge. Cartridge, yeah.
Roger.
Thank you for pointing it out. The next day, we go out, we shoot all our 6.8 SPC stuff. I said, "Jay, go get your rifle out of my truck. We're going to shoot it for zero and check it for groups with the ammo that I loaded." I let him shoot on target with his ammo, which was, he had the same 2 boxes he had bought 20 years ago for this rifle. I said, "Okay, let it cool down, then we're going to shoot for groups." He loaded the ammo that I had hand loaded, shot the first round. He said, "Is it in the black?" I said, "Jay, we're shooting for groups. Don't worry about bullseye." Shot the second round. I'm standing up on the tripod with the spotting scope. He goes, "How'd I do? How'd I do? Where'd it go?" I said, "Jay, shoot the
matter.
gun."
Yeah.
I'm looking at these first 2 rounds, and as he's getting ready to shoot the 3rd round, I'm thinking to myself, "Man, he's gonna fuck this up. He's gonna fuck this up. I know he's gonna do it." He shot that 3rd round. I came off the scope. I looked at him. I said, "Let's go look at your target." As we're walking down the range, he's shooting a 25-year-old Remington 700 ADL, okay? Blind box magazine, not a BDL with the hinge floor plate, okay? We walked down As we get close to the target, about 50 yards away, he goes, man, I must have thrown those rounds everywhere because he only saw what looked like one hole. When we got up to the target, he looked at the target, he looked at me, he goes, Steve, are those 3 bullet holes? I said, Jay, those are 3 bullet holes. Under a nickel. I put a nickel on it and made him take a picture. Under a nickel. Remington 700 ADL he had bought from Walmart in Upper Peninsula, Michigan, Upper land.
20 years prior.
Not glass
I've seen the
bedded.
rifle. I've seen the
Not
rifle.
glass bedded. No fancy trigger. Nothing. Stock except for the Leupold scope that I had given to him because, I mean, he's my brother and he helped me out so much. I told him, I said, take this target, write down the date, the time, the weather conditions, the gun, the ammo load. I said, I'm going to give you the ammo load and put this in a frame. Because to this day, when people ask me about stuff like that, I always say, the gun that you shoot is as important as how you shoot it. And it's how you shoot it is as important as the gun you shoot.
So what you're saying is the monkey matters.
The monkey matters.
The monkey matters.
The monkey matters. And
Monkey
but
matters.
Jay's not a monkey, but I'm just saying that
No, we're all monkeys.
Man.
That's but the point.
a $375 Walmart Remington 700 ADL half-minute group. And I told the guy at Gun and Knife Country when he was showing me this cigar for, I'm not going to say how much the cost was, and I'm sure that they are excellent rifles. But at the same time, I've seen so many things, you know, in my interaction with Mr. Joe White, God bless him. I know that he is a saint and an angel in the kingdom of heaven. I've seen so many instances of regular guns shooting hard versus, you know, some fancy, hey, I bought this so I know I'm going to shoot hard. No, you have to be a good shooter. Jay is a good shooter. Jay was one of my students through sniper school, which I didn't even remember when he came to work for me for Force Mod, but he said, hey, you remember me? I go, from where? He goes, well, I was one of your sniper schools. I said, what year, what class? No. And he said, yeah.
How many did you do? Like 2?
He said, during the stalks, the first time we did concealment exercise stalks, you had a walker come over to me and say, hey, you got 2 minutes before we start looking, but tell that guy over there, to the left of that tree, behind that bush, tell him I'm going to give him an extra 2 minutes. He said, that was me. Yeah, so, but, I mean, what he did that day on the range solidified to me that it doesn't take $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, people, to have a good rifle.
Most of these bolt guns now, including the entry level ones, damn good rifles.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, it's the same. Let's bring this over to the pistol realm a second. And I'll
Wait,
and I'll bring G.
before we hit the pistol, let me point out one other thing. Sean Renock, who was my guy through the first 3 or 4 years of my Force Mod combat development career. Sean had a Savage. What's the main Savage?
Crap.
No.
With the dual trigger.
Yeah, before that they called it the Savage. Remington has the 700. Savage has the
Garbage.
no.
No, I'm sorry. No, it's not the garbage.
Anyway, Sean had a Savage. I used to call it a Smavage. Sean, I put him in a tree stand across his field, 750 yards across his field, Kentucky, right down in Christian County. I heard a shot. I texted him, was that you? He said, yeah. I said, okay. 5 minutes later, I heard another shot. 10 minutes later, I heard another shot. I said, is that you? He said, yeah, 3 down. I said, okay. About 20 minutes later, I hear another shot. Did another shot. I said, is that you? He said, yeah, 5 down. About 10 minutes later, I hear another shot.
For the record, in this part of the country, that's legal.
No. Yeah, it's legal. It's legal. You can shoot that many. The sixth
A lot
shot,
of places it's not.
the sixth shot, he texts me first. He goes, coyote down. Not even 60 seconds later, I hear another shot. He goes, second coyote down. The farm owner comes out and goes, man, what are you guys starting a war out here? You're supposed to be hunting. And I'm sitting in my tree stand looking way back across this field. I'm 200 yards to Sean's left, and I see the truck stop. When they stop, I see this white fur, so it's a deer. Then they stop at another deer. Then they stop at another deer. They go all the way out to the edge of the fence, and I see them throw something in the back of the truck. I said, Sean, what was that? He said, oh, that's the second coyote I shot. I said, you hit a coyote at 750 yards with that Savage. He goes, yeah. 750, running away. When he hit the first one, the other 3 or 4 turned and just dispersed, as they always do.
Wow,
He got on the one that was running away straight away, put his 4th mil dot on it.
But Steve, you know why he hit, right?
Right, exactly.
He was aiming for the tree next to it.
He dropped that coyote at 741 yards running away from him. He said, hey, I went to my 4th mil dot, and he dropped it right at the base of the neck.
Wow.
That was with a Savage rifle.
Hell, I couldn't do that from 20 yards.
And I've seen so many instances of not high dollar rifles perform at a high dollar level. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Valkyrie, though, is a pointer. The Valkyrie that we shot.
In reference to when everyone asks me about AR-15s and accuracy, barrel and trigger. Barrel and trigger. That's where your accuracy starts on the AR-15.
So actually,
All right, give me the mic.
I know what Rawson was mentioning the Valkyrie we shot out in Vegas.
Yes. Yeah.
We were hitting with a 224 Valkyrie.
That was a pointer.
With a red dot at 600 plus meters. Wow. Yeah. It was crazy. We were shooting with Dimitri from
Primary Arms.
Yeah, Dimitri's awesome.
He is awesome.
How big was the steel? It was like a.
It's torso, human torso.
Yeah, C-zone.
Torso. Oh shit.
C-zone, but yeah, 600 meters, and that was UKD. That was unranged. So.
All right, hey guys.
Unknown distance.
All right, so you see we got fireworks going off behind us. Tomorrow's a big day. We are 2.5 hours into this live stream. We went a little longer tonight because you guys are awesome, and I want to give you guys a small taste of our 4th of July celebration that we have here. Thank you for bringing Rawson in safely. All right, Donnie, thank you for coming in, bringing Joey, our camera girl. Thank you, Joey, for running our cameras. Camera woman.
Camera little person.
Woman.
She's a wee lass.
She's a wee lass.
Steve, thanks for coming up as always. All right, and thank you to my moderators for helping keep the Peanut Gallery afloat. Thank you from my patrons.
Ozzy.
Yeah, Susan, everybody out there.
Love you.
We do appreciate all you guys. We appreciate your support here on Tactical Rifleman. Like Steve said, next Tuesday, I believe next Tuesday, we're up at the Louisville Armory.
This Tuesday coming, yeah.
Next Tuesday, this Tuesday coming up, we're going to be at theLouisville Armory.
Louisville
Armory.
Louisville.
All right, it's going to be awesome. All right, so that's all I got for tonight. You guys know if you got questions, comments, leave them below. If you're not already subscribing to TR Live, this is the part where I remind you you're wrong. You need to subscribe to this channel, and that way you get all your notifications and stuff.
Chuck Larson. Chuck, we'll get back with you.
We'll see y'all next time. Y'all take care and shoot straight.
Take care and shoot
I'm gonna be
straight.
finger fucking your gun.
Incoming right there.